Left screams louder, can't hear my name. Right points, fingers, plays the blame game. In the middle, man, where do we stand? No saints, no saviors, just callous hands. Stuck in the middle, stuck in the fight. Common sense flickers like a dim street light. Woke to the left, holy to the right. Josh and Eli breaking through the night. Breaking through the night. Shades of gray, they call it a sin. Two sides shouting, who's gonna win? Echo chambers building their walls, but we're here screaming through it all. Stuck in the middle, stuck in the fight. Common sense flickers like a dim street light. Woke to the left, holy to the right. Josh and Eli breaking through the night. Breaking through the night. Truth ain't red, truth ain't blue. Lies on both sides, what's a man to do? Tug of war, pulling hearts apart. But brassy patriot, where's the restart? Stuck in the middle, stuck in the fight. Common sense flickers like a dim street light. Woke to the left, holy to the right. Josh and Eli breaking through the night. Breaking through the night.
A kapow!
How now, brown cow?
How now, brown cow? A kapow!
Shabbat shalom. Welcome.
Whoa, bro. We don't take that kind of language here, okay? Watch, careful, all right? No, there's no curses allowed.
Yeah, no, hey, I mean, I've been cursed already by a certain somebody we're gonna talk about, and I started my day kind of strange, Josh. Before I ramble on a bit, how's today going for you, brother?
You know, not bad, but I just sat down and cracked open my delicious Coke Zero, shameless plug, and it's got that thing on the bottom where it's like it's blown out on the bottom so you can't set your can down on the table.
That's to keep you on your A game.
What's
That was
going on here?
I sabotaged that, knowing that you had to be sharp for today, sir.
I smell a conspiracy.
Oh, when is something not a conspiracy?
Yeah.
That's what I would propose to the masses at this point.
Well, we'll find that out tonight. We're going to go over some history made. Is or is there not peace in the Middle East? We've been saying those like that, like it's not an alliteration, but I feel like it's a very rhymey peace in the Middle East. It's cool, it rhymes. Everyone's been saying that for years now. Is it now going to come to fruition?
I mean, and I would certainly think that would be a good thing, being how desperate we've been to see some peace over there. I mean, some people, I think dare I say, mainstream take is that it's overwhelmingly positive. I think it's a positive, but there's other powerful voices out there saying it's outright evil and that you're cursed.
It's a holocaust. So we'll get into that. Candace Owens, is she seeking truth or is she seeking that bag? You know what I'm talking about? She making that bag, baby, from all these text messages and these new implications, not accusations. I never once accused anybody. I'm just giving you information so you can form your own ideas on what happened with, I have something in my eye, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, but behind the veil of I'm only asking questions, she certainly has some very strong opinions that she doesn't treat like opinions at all. But I digress. I don't want to come off like I'm just a Candace Owens disappreciator, although her rhetoric feeds into something that's growing, and it's creating some seething tension out there. And I feel it. My family feels it.
You're not the only one who feels it, because if we have a little time, we'll get into some Jesse on fire, going over those text messages too. Like he is. I mean, do we dare drop our new trademarked word? Like, do we dare let the people know yet, or do we kind of keep that in our back pocket until we're really ready?
I mean, I've been teasing it on the other channel that shall not be named. Mine.
What do you mean? You've said the word?
I've said it.
You son of
times,
a bitch!
And I enjoyed every second of it.
It was my word to say. Damn it!
Don't we know how you do subception here?
Oh, right,
all right,
right,
that's
right,
how I
right.
roll with your ideas.
Like you took it, you just made it your own.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
It was
all
never
right.
yours to begin with.
Okay, touche. And if we got time towards the end, Collargate. This big, if you're familiar with Hassan Piker, get out of here, fly. There's a big what for going on in his neck of the woods, as he may or may not have shocked the fuck out of his dog. I guess we'll find out, or we won't. I don't know if we'll have time. We'll see, right? Welcome to the show. How's everybody else out there in the chat world? Eli, how's yourself? I'm looking forward to getting into some of this stuff here tonight and having some good discussions, and maybe an open phone line or two. We'll see.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I want to mention, if per divine chance, any of the people that have been arguing with me, I made a post today declaring that I'm glad Antifa has been recognized as a terrorist organization. And would you imagine that there's people giving me some backlash saying it's just an idea? I was like, haha, I remember when I was a kid making that same argument, and I talked about how they tried to indoctrinate me and literally get me to do something on the streets. And my buddy is like, nah, you're pretending. I'm like, dude, are you saying I'm lying? Come on the show. Crickets.
Ew.
Crickets.
Well, you kind of stalled. And you said, I remember when I used to defend Antifa, and it kind of gave you a little boost of nostalgia. Like, I remember that.
Yeah,
good times.
Bittersweet, because I felt it feels so wrong now knowing what I know. So,
Right.
breaking in.
Let's get on into it. Welcome to the show. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please give us a sub. We much appreciate that stuff. Let's get into it. I wish we had like we need like a cool, like a buzzer, like get it on, like MXC, most extreme elimination challenge. Remember that show?
Of course.
On Spike. Yeah. And what's his name? Guy Ledouche. He's like, get it on. And that's how everyone would begin.
It's got to be Gay Ledouche. We're sticking with Gay Ledouche.
It's Gee. It's
Shout
definitely
out
Gee,
to
but I like gay.
Some of the returning chat members. We got Seafowl, Shamrock. What's up, Ken, brother, Dystopian? It's good to see you. We're going to break in now, I believe, the first thing on the docket, and don't you worry, Candace Owens is up there. But first, we want to start off with everything going on with Trump seemingly, possibly accomplishing the impossible.
Accomplishing the impossible. Oh, go ahead. Zoom is being weird.
No. What he's on the cusp of obtaining this so-called peace in the Middle East. I think it's a great thing.
I mean, I feel like we were all like Trump at this point, because when it was announced that this plan was going through, I feel like the American people were Trump, and then Marco Rubio is so essentially in this clip right here. There's a meeting going on. Something's going on, and in the middle of the meeting, Trump gets this note from Marco Rubio, and he's like, "Oh shit, we got some news to break," and this is them breaking that news.
I've seen no footage of any of this stuff, so this is all real time for me. What's up, Brock? Welcome, brother.
Real time, folks. So check this out.
Shep.
So this is how I feel like this is how we heard about it. Because didn't you kind of hear, like, we all maybe were hoping for it, peace in the Middle East eventually sometime within the next 30 years. Maybe it's possible, but it felt like it came out of nowhere. And that's how I feel Trump kind of received this information too, just kind of out of nowhere. Little Marco.
Well, they're smart, but they're not smart enough.
Oop, nope.
Oh, my microphone's broken. They're smart, but they're not smart enough. They have been
And like, what a good time to get past the note too, because like the speaker is already having difficulties. I don't know if you like, she's talking and then she gets to in the moment. She's like, oh, my microphone's broken. And then she keeps like riffing on her little thing. It's just like perfect timing because we really didn't want to see her that embarrassed by having that happen. But now we're all our attention was diverted over to Trump here, receiving this "Will you date me? Yes or no?" note. You know.
Yeah, that was the most animated receiving of a letter I've ever seen.
Do you like me? Check yes or no. And as soon as he reads it, he goes, Well, you see his face and lips go, Like
yeah, that was Hamas saying, "Do you like me? Or can we do the peace?" No, that's not how that would work. But... yeah.
In fact, I don't.
Enough. They. Oh, my microphone's broken.
My microphone's broken.
They're smart, but they're not smart enough. They have been covered by these liberal cities for so many years. And that's why we're all working with Treasury, with all these different departments to find the criminal conspiracy.
I think you're so cool, Mr. President. I think I'm your biggest fan. I just want you to know that real quick. Thank you, Marco.
Okay.
This is like the opposite of 9/11.
Yeah.
I'm just giving. Yeah, I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly. So I will take a couple of more questions.
And then I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to go make a peace deal. Sorry, people.
Yeah, how do you tease with that? That erases everything that they were just talking about. I don't even care what they were talking about now.
I know. I like, what? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, to be honest with Mr. President, we don't give a fuck about this meeting anymore. Can we go to the peace deal now? Sorry, I gotta go. Can't do it. But he did. After this, he truthed out. I was about to say tweeted out, but he truthed out this. See if I can pull it up there. And I guess he goes on to further let the people know that this is true, at least on our side. We're still waiting on Israel or Gaza at the moment to approve said plans. But here's his truth. And it reads as follows. I'm very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. And we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who work with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers, DJT. America. It's wild.
Okay, I see this so far as an overwhelming positive. I wonder how everybody feels on each side. That's all I've been hearing about. I haven't seen the main stuff here, the content here. I'm just seeing the reactions of everybody. And they're surprising, or maybe they're not.
Yeah, I mean, there are people pissed off, but I feel like that's more of a political thing. I think if you're not so wrapped up in politics, you're probably most likely happy for. There obviously are some concessions that will be made on both sides that we can't win everything 100%, but I think it is a win when there's peace in the Middle East. Bam, I said it again. Oh, it's so much fun to say. I'm hoping for that this not to work so we can keep saying peace in the Middle East. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to let that go.
We can keep, dropping more of a Eminem style rap here, using the want and failure of peace in the Middle East. I dig it.
So,
Looks good.
These would be the first 4 things that are expected to happen immediately now that the deal is done, because it was officially approved. Like both Gaza and Hamas, both Hamas and Israel have agreed on it. So it is official. It is like moving forward. So number 1 would obviously be a ceasefire in Gaza. It says, now the agreement has been formally approved by the Israel cabinet. A ceasefire is expected to take effect. Reports in Israeli media suggest this will happen immediately, although a spokesperson for the Prime Minister's office said it would begin within 24 hours of the approval. So first and foremost, boom, ceasefire happens in Gaza. Second thing that happens is the Israeli troops, they withdraw. The military will withdraw to a line that will leave it in control of about 53% of the strip. So they're not gone entirely. They're going to give away, that that will leave it in control of about 53% of the strip. So 53% of the Gaza Strip will still be in control by the Israeli military. One of the biggest things I think people are most excited for and happy for about this whole thing is number 3, the swap of hostages and bodies. After this, a 72-hour countdown will begin, during which Hamas must release all 20 of the hostages believed to be alive. The return of bodies of the 28 deceased hostages would follow, although it is not clear how long that would take. Israel would then release about 250 Palestinian prisoners serving life sentences in Israeli jails and about 1,700 detainees from Gaza. So, like, they're releasing 20 alive people and 28 dead people, and Israel's got about 250 prisoners and 1,700 detainees from Gaza. So they got a lot. It does, the swap, a little lopsided, but Israel may have more of them just, in the first place.
I might go on a purely emotional riff right now.
I love those, dude. Do it.
Okay. All right. Look, first off, to those of you joining and just doubling upon us, welcome. We promote engagement. We're all about engagement with the audience. We're going to have the phone lines open. Welcome. Get comfortable. Do not be afraid to share your commentary. Okay, some people are calling me Jewish. I know I am not technically Jewish because in the faith you have to be born of a Jewish mother, and I'm sick and tired of having to explain this. I am not a pro-Zionist, which has been explained to me time and time again. That means that you support the state of Israel and their expansion somewhat, or something to that effect, and I do not want their expansion. However,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there an
Please do.
implication or an accusation because you're clarifying right now that you're not all the way Jewish? So are people like disappointed in you or telling you need to believe one way because they thought you were fully Jewish? Like why is that clarification necessary? Are people grouping you in one thing that they shouldn't be, or is it just a general clarification?
It's just like when I was in the left, right? Like to this day, it's no secret. I was a hardcore Bernie Sanders supporter. Antifa tried to court me and indoctrinate me. When I share this kind of shit, people that don't like me that are on the right side start to weaponize that and use it against me as if I'm still fucking with them. I do not rock with Antifa. I loathe Antifa and I celebrate that they are being recognized as a terrorist organization. And also, I'm being called a Jew, but in the religious faith, Jews are saying you're not a Jewish person. You're not allowed to be rejected. So I'm getting a lot of shit from all ends of the area. Regardless, though, I have a lot of sorrow and anger, and I want to call out my own bias so that other people that don't have the bias will just be honest and open with me about their thoughts. Hamas and what they did was awful. I forget the appropriate date, October 7th, but
Yep.
all those people, everything they did, it makes me angry. And the growing pro-Palestinian stance that you can find far enough left or far enough right seems to be almost a unification, and I'm confused, and it's starting to feel like that my family and myself don't really have a place, and it's just amplifying my voice. So I guess that's just kind of the fact that I wanted to expound on, because I do feel like there is a direct connection between my family's safety to a degree. I don't mean to be that like hyperbole or anything. So, all right. Anyway, more on this.
It does
here. I
feel
do
like,
want peace there.
It does feel like, for whatever reason, as far as like the mainstream media goes, does seem like there is this allowable, like, hey, we'll give you 10 anti-Semitic phrases you can say, and then you got to stop being anti-Semitic. Like they're allowing a little more, in my opinion, like undercover anti-Semitism to make it through into mainstream media. Like it's kind of okay to not like Israel, but also Jewish people. Like I do feel like there is this allowance to outwardly not be okay with Jewish people. Yet then in the same breath, these people call Trump Hitler. So it's like, well, what I don't understand. In one time you're like, yeah, I don't care about Jewish people, but this Trump guy, he's Hitler. Well, if you don't like the Jewish people, then why do you care if Trump's Hitler? I thought that would be good for you, right?
That and our dear Shamrock said in the comments, like, oh, I don't like Trump, so therefore I hate the peace deal in the Middle East, even to the detriment of something that they allegedly want.
Right, just like the Tylenol thing. Trump says don't drink don't eat Tylenol, take Tylenol, drink Tylenol, whatever it is, however you get it. Don't do it if you're a pregnant lady. And then you just got like TikToks and X is just flooded of like pregnant ladies downing Tylenol. Like, ha ha, fuck you, Trump. Ha 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 ha. It's like they dictate their every move on what Trump does. And I forget where it was. Oh, I don't have the video anymore. But he's like, maybe I can find it. Not right now. But remember those cartoons that we watched like maybe twice so far, like these political cartoons that kind of had these like funny parody takes on politics? Well, one of them was, I think it was JD Vance, or it was somebody close to Trump saying, Trump, whatever you do, like whatever you say, the liberals do opposite of. So like Trump comes out and says, I want everybody to not suck balls, okay? Leave the balls alone. Don't suck the balls. And, so now he's hooking up all the men, because all the ladies are going to go against what he says and they're going to suck balls. So it's like,
great.
Like
making America gay?
No, how is it gay if your girlfriend's sucking your balls, man?
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I just thought this was a universal application here.
I mean,
so I'm just saying, okay,
there's nothing wrong with it if you want to do it too. I'm not saying you can't.
I'm insinuating the entirety of the left, male, female, she, sherm, shit, they would all just suck all the balls.
Yeah, they'd just be ball suckers because Trump said don't suck balls. They were like, you know what? I love balls. Don't clip that out of context, please, anybody.
No, no, please don't do that. That wouldn't happen on YouTube, never.
Not once.
What's up, actions?
And how about this to kind of tail off this whole Israel-Gaza thing? How about a Democrat saying he will nominate, shout at the top of a mountain that Trump received the Nobel Peace Prize for this historic deal? And you know who it is?
Democrat?
A Democrat. It's Fetty Wap again. It's old John Fetty Wap. He's really making the rounds. I guarantee you in 2026 or whenever midterms are, he ain't getting his shit back. You're no longer a Democrat because I mean he said he's not going to come out and use this. He's not going to call his opponents Nazis and Hitler. He's not going to use rhetoric like that. And he was being chastised.
It's the same guy.
Same.
So he's showing evidence of consistency, which is something that's very rare this day and age. I appreciate that about him, and he's going to be demonized by the very people that claim they want peace and tolerance when they're the most intolerant motherfuckers I've ever laid eyes on.
This is a good rare exception of like somebody just getting better after a stroke. Usually when someone has a stroke, it just takes them out. The life just kind of, they're not as good. Like this guy, he had a stroke. He's just like, I would love to have more, to be honest with you. If you could send some more strokes my way, he might become this crazy, ultra cool conservative guy. He might have a lisp because of all the strokes. But I mean, at this point, who cares, right?
So he had one of those clarity strokes. And I'll take a good message.
Yes, a clarity stroke.
I love me a good clarity stroke.
Me too. And so here's him having another clarity stroke live on TV.
Having a Nobel Peace Prize is for ending wars. And
let me rewind it.
I think the whole point of having a Nobel Peace Prize is for ending wars and promoting peace. And I'm going to make a direct appeal to the president. I hope he chooses to provide the tomahawks to the Ukrainians too, and give them the tools that they need to push back against Russia. And if he brings the Ukrainian war to its end, I'll be the Democrat leading the committee for his Nobel Prize Peace. For ending
his Nobel Prize Peace. So you can see the stroke has a little effect on his speech pattern, but I mean, rah, dude, rah.
It's not shaking the contents of the message, and like this should be something that's really recognized and appreciated. But I know because of my many years being on the left and door to door for Bernie Sanders, how they treat people that say things within their circles that they don't want to hear.
Yeah, and the fact that we're watching this from something taken from Fox News, he probably, and I'm speaking out my ass here, you probably can't find a video of CNN or MSNBC or whatever they're called now, or any other, CBS, ABC News, whatever. There's probably no videos of them talking to him on this same subject because they would lose their minds. They would have to like grill him and make him look dumb on a different topic so he doesn't look consistent on this topic. Like, you know what I mean? Like they wouldn't just ask him why. They would have to follow up in such a way where they made him look like he wasn't doing the right move, and they would be like condescending. And
I can see Don Lemon or The View now, like, so where were you when Charlie Kirk was being unalived, dare I say? Like, just going that extreme with it. And where were you on the night of September 22nd? I heard you were at a KKK rally. That's how
interesting.
unhinged they are when they hear something in their own chamber that they don't want to hear.
I heard that you had a flight to catch on 9/11. You care to just give us any details of your flight, John?
I even heard, and you don't have to confirm because we're reporting it as truth, that you're related to one Mohammed Atta.
Yeah. I heard that a symptom of being a terrorist, John, is that you often get strokes. Comment?
Okay, you got him.
Got it. Gotcha, John. Gotcha.
I'm not stopping on my rhetoric. Is that this is a positive, and it's the fact that it's getting no coverage on the usual suspects is no shock to me.
I would assume it's not. I wanted to find the clip, and obviously the clip I was looking for was from Fox News. I didn't check X. There very well could be him out there doing that, but under the assumption, so we can all, I can make an ass out of you and me, I'm going to assume that he only did this on Fox News. So, but still cool for him for sticking with how he feels and not kind of bowing down to how his complete party feels. Like, I was trying to think also in the same breath, like, was there anybody on the right who kind of dissented like this that we could also applaud at one point? Because I was trying to give both sides here, but I don't know what the what would the analogy be? What would be equivalent to him doing this on the right? It doesn't matter. I was trying to.
Yeah, no. I know. I got nothing. I'm sure it exists, but right now, hey, the focal point is Trump did accomplish something that should be bipartisanly appreciated. So he gets his flowers.
Hell yeah, he does. So good job. Let's hope is there a consensus in the chat at all about how people feel about this deal? About the peace in the Middle East?
Well, I wasn't really following. I'm kind of everywhere.
That's fine.
Just hello to Cheeseburger and anybody else that's jumping in. Thank you. Uncle Fester should take over the Democrat Party. Dig it. I wonder if Tylenol was ready to maybe ask the government for help and Trump went poof. Okay. So, yeah, anyway, peace in the Middle East.
Well, since we don't have any other people's comment, I do have one more person's comment on this, and this is going to be, oddly enough, an opposing view, but someone you would call on his side. And that's Candace Owens. Like, I guess she just released a video today, and towards the end, she's talking about this, the Israel-Hamas peace deal, and she brings up Trump here. So the first thing I have, this is from YouTube, by the way, Eli. You were kind enough to give us all these timestamps, so thank you. So this is the first one. Let's hear her thoughts on the peace deal.
About the Israel and Hamas peace deal that they're trying to shove down our throats.
Should I fast forward
Now,
this?
if you're reading the headline,
Not fast forward, but should I put it on like 1.25? Like, is she gonna get us?
DMCA kind of deal. I'm not certain, how she rolls, but I mean, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Right.
Just to play it safe. And anybody that supports Candace Owens, please, we are not an echo chamber. Chime in. I'll give my stance clear as day. I don't like her fucking rhetoric. I think her reporting is something akin to being a hack reporter. She says some very compelling things, and I want to root for her. And for a while, I really tried, but she's losing me as an audience. She's losing me personally. So do go on.
See what she says about the Trump thing.
a peace agreement, is what we're calling it, has been reached between Israel and Hamas. Oh my gosh, because they decided that there's going to be phases, and Israel is going to partially withdraw its troops from Gaza, and Hamas is going to release the remaining hostages. And this is, of course, after everything that happened on October 7th. Don't forget about October 7th. And yeah, like hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are missing. And yeah, they have destroyed 85% of Gaza. And they're going to try to tell us that we've reached peace. At the center of it was Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner.
What does she want to happen, though? Like, what is her... Does she want Israel wiped out? Like, how else do you... You know, you
Her
can't keep
version-
bringing up old shit while you're trying to make a peace deal. The whole point is you're trying to find peace, right? You can't be like, here we go, let's sign that. Hey, you remember when you wiped out like 85% of my people? No. Now's that we're it's peace. Make peace. Make peace.
If I was to take seriously that you're asking me what she wants, and at this point, I believe. Please, nobody strike me down. Don't cancel me for my opinion. If you worship this woman, if you appreciate what she does, by all means, please continue to do so. I think she hates Israel with every fabric of her soul. I truly believe that she believes Israel and their only interest in this world is to destroy America or take it over.
Get away from
And
me.
there's a lot of people that want to agree with her.
She just, we've talked about it before. I hate to beat a dead horse, but she does have seemingly an issue with the Jewish people. She says she doesn't, but then like it seems every conspiracy or every person thing she goes to blame ends up being a Jewish person. So as we said before, I'd love to know when she thinks it wasn't a Jewish person or the Jewish people. That way we can get a good idea on how she judges things. Because if it's like 99% the Jews and like 1% not a Jew, like, well, okay, you're really, you got some Jew colored glasses on, Jew hating colored glasses on.
Yeah, we call that schmutz.
Schmutz. You got some schmutz all over your glasses.
When somebody so consistently blames anybody and it's that same somebody every time, yes, I think it's almost contingent on that person to say this story is not about the Jews. I do want to see the balance, because everything that's ever happened under the sun and the moon is the Jews with this woman, and that they're demons. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself. She curses everybody that supports the peace deal. And Trump, by the way, all of you that voted for Trump, we're the majority. She has vilified all of us. How do you feel now?
This is her
Nobel
going.
Peace Prize,
This
by the
is her
way.
going on to talk about Trump possibly getting the Nobel Peace Prize. She's irked by that. You can tell. Nobel.
No,
Peace
this
Prize.
can't be nothing but a positive.
Yeah,
She's
no.
excited.
She's pumped.
For the planned ethnic cleansing so that they could profit on the land and turn it into a beach town. So let me say this. This is our never again, okay? This is a Holocaust. A Holocaust just happened. A real Holocaust just happened. And we will never forget this. You need to tell your children what happened in Gaza. You need to tell them exactly who did it, exactly whose families were involved in this. And when you
There are things she says that I agree with. Like, you know, Israel
real estate.
hasn't been seemingly too kind to Palestine. You know, it seems they're a little more powerful. They do a little more damage than Palestine can do, or than Palestine can give back. And if they can give it back, it kind of takes this whole, you know, an October 7th size thing to happen.
A brief apologies. Raymond Smith chiming in, I'm a Jew, and I agree with Candace. Raymond, I agree with some things, only they're becoming so far and few between at this point. So I'd like to confirm your stance on agreeing. Are you agreeing wholeheartedly that Candace Owens saying that, and she's quoted it, I'm going to use her own words here, essentially that Israel is the ultimate evil? Is that your belief? Does that equate to all Jewish people being evil, or is she specifying? Because I don't see it in the language where she makes the distinction. And that's why I fear a lot of
Right.
ignorance is being created, or from that ignorance, it's being created into an anti-Semitic notion. So feel free to clarify for me.
And I do see that there's a lot of people who are Jewish, and they're like, no, I don't condone what Israel is doing. I don't hate Israel, but on a 51-49, 51% of this, I don't like what Israel is doing. I understand that there's this war going on, and I'm horribly versed in the the back and forth and how long this has been happening. I know Israel was granted the land during World War II sometime. It was nations came over and decided to give this land to the Jewish people, and that may have displaced some people that live there. Fucking shit.
A lot of people.
Yeah,
and
a lot of people.
Yes, and there's been very little forgiveness.
But the whole world over there is Muslim. There's not a lot of is there a big like there's a little thing of Jewish people in a big area of Muslim. So like, there it is nuanced, I guess is what I'm trying to say with my jargon and my rambling. It is nuanced, like to understand why Israel is in the right and wrong, and to understand and why it's okay to back Palestine, not Hamas, but the Palestine people, hoping for them to just have a better life from what they're kind of going through right now with all the bombings. And, you hope, I don't know how long it will take to start to get back to normal, whatever their normal is, and then
Yeah,
same,
no, and
same thing with Israel. Innocent people have to live through terrorist attacks, they're next door neighbors. So you're just like, you're always kind of on edge. And if there's a ceasefire going on and everyone's kind of abiding by it, I think it gives both sides a little more room to breathe. It gives the civilians a little more room to go, now I can kind of focus on some other shit and not have this lingering worry in the back of my mind that, in this building today, it's going to be blown up while I'm at it.
so let me add some compounding layers to this, and I want to read Raymond's response. Thank you for engaging. We're all about that. Welcome, JVOC. Real quick, and I may be accused of being ignorant of this, and I'll own that. I didn't take any pilgrimage to Israel. I didn't sign up for. I wouldn't even qualify. I'm not actually Jewish, and my father hates Netanyahu, and he is anti-Israel's expansion. However, it is to my knowledge that inside of Israel is where the coexistence has been the most successful. There are Palestinians in there that love living in Israel side by side their Jewish or Israeli neighbors. That doesn't happen so much outside of the bounds of Israel. And I don't know what to really make of that. I know if you just listen to me saying that, it sounds like a soundbite, right? But the more you look at Palestine, it's just there's a lack of economy, and everything is just so volatile. So I guess you can't adequately apply this social experiment, if you will.
Yeah, like you can't really look at Palestine and say, well, are there any Jewish people living there? Because I think just kind of like you're saying, there is like a difference in society. It's not like not even people don't like Jewish people, but just living conditions and shit like that wise might be a little more different than what someone from Israel is used to. So like Palestine probably isn't equipped to actually kind of have this crossover from Israel. It's more so people leaving Palestine to get to a better life in that area. People aren't leaving Israel to get to a better life in Palestine. Maybe they are. That's just my ignorance, but that's just kind of how I see it.
And at the very least, I can confirm that there has been a multitude of success stories of Palestinians that enter Israel, live there happily. I don't hear too much of the opposite, but I'm sure there's a million and one examples. Real quick, but I have unfortunately grown up in an environment that I can understand why outsiders have this perception. There was something he said prior. Sure, I don't think she is wrong because of the perception of our own have created. Now, not all Jews are like this. Okay, appreciate that. And we're getting a little bit of a history lesson. The Assyrians took it from the Mesopotamians, and I won't even pretend to be able to get into the nuance of the founding of Israel. I won't.
Yeah.
It's not my place. Okay. These two people, their cultures, the Palestinians and the Israelis, are so intertwined in terms of commerce, economics, and social economic independence. The highest standards of living is in Abu Dhabi or Dubai in the UAE. The lowest standard of living is in Yemen. Thank you for offering so much information that is absolutely necessary, at least for me personally.
Great little tidbits there.
I mean, I need all the context I get. If I'm going to continue to be a voice and somewhat of an advocate and speak up for this, I appreciate any feedback.
All right, let's go. Let's keep going with the Candace thing. She is again talking about Trump and the Nobel Peace Prize. I rewound it to like 5 seconds.
A real Holocaust just happened. And we will never forget this. You need to tell your children what happened in Gaza. You need to tell them exactly who did it, exactly whose families were involved in this. And when you hear in the future somebody tell you, like, we're going to Gaza Beach for a vacation, you need to look at them Like they are the absolute vermin of our society because they are. They are. Their children will be cursed, okay? If you go and you play in the sand where you know that your forefathers planned to mass murder children, you will be cursed. Every person who steps foot on that.
So, ask her a question. Like, is she not cursed for standing on the dead bodies of American Indians in the great United States of America? Are the children who enjoyed the atrocities that our founding fathers did to the people of this land, were those children not cursed?
I would love to see her answer just that. You know, where is the same standard she is demanding? We are not ignorant to the fact that to obtain peace, much blood has to be spilled. You could argue that we have been indoctrinated to believe that, but that just appears to be the facts of the matter, and history shows it to be a truth. And I'm not trying to sweep for Israel. I don't want them to keep expanding. I think they've done quite enough. 85%, Candace Owens goes on to explain, of Gaza has been eliminated. So it's not lost on me here. But her framing that any sort of peace is evil, and what Trump wants to do, she will go on later to not insinuate, and say Trump wants a peace prize and that everybody's all generalized together. Trump wants this, and everybody that wants it and benefits from it or just supports it in any shape or form is evil.
And where you know that your forefathers planned to mass murder children, you will be cursed. Every person who steps foot on that, every family that is set to inherit what they did, they will be cursed. Your children's children will be cursed. Gaza belongs to nobody but the Palestinians. So when you begin to move the Israelis in there, and when the Trump Hotel gets built on there, I caution the rest of the world to stay far away from that cursed land because something is coming. You can't commit that much evil in broad daylight and not think it's going to come back to haunt you. Anyways.
That's some harsh words there. She's really but that's Candace for you.
I'm not, yeah, I know. Sensationalism. And just a quick side note, I did watch the entirety of her live stream. All right, I'm just going to frame this briefly. Moist Critical, Charlie, everybody knows him on YouTube. He is like the most famous person on YouTube. He went on live to say, I'm turning off all ads. I'm ending my monetization. Don't donate to me anymore. I just don't need it. If you have money to give it to a charitable donate or give it to a charity. Meanwhile, we got Candace here. I know she's providing a service, but she'll get 200,000 people in 3 minutes, and all of them are throwing $200 to $500 donos to this woman. And then she has 4 sponsored ads to read, and then 4 more at the end, and then ads are playing the entire time. That's why it becomes almost too easy to question her agenda, her incentives.
Well, a question. When she was going over some of, because she had this big buildup, because she was going to be releasing some text messages soon that are in and around in regards to the whole Charlie Kirk situation. And I think she released them on Monday. Did she do any ad reads during that text message reveal on Monday? Probably, right?
Every single live stream has ads and ad reads. Like I was typing along while I was listening before I thought to timestamp anything, and I was 15 minutes. That was 4 sponsored ad reads in the middle of some breaking news. Just enough bait to keep you in there.
So that was from the most recent live that within the first 15 minutes. Damn.
15 minutes in the middle, and at the end there was 2 more sponsors, and ads were running through and interrupting the video entirely. And she made a lot of claims here. I don't know if we have more videos, but I've got plenty to go on. What you got up there? We got some text messages?
Yeah, get on to the because she's pretty much done with the Israeli stuff, and I think so are we right now. We got into the we did the damn thing with the peace in the Middle East deal, unless you got a little bow tie to wrap it up with, if anybody else in the chat wants to say anything. But I think now is a good time to go on to some of those text messages and keep continuing our Candace Owens journey through craziness. I don't know. You tell us.
What do you think of this comment? And I understand it. I understand. She left big media and is doing online. Respect the hustle, Eli. If that's the game, if it's a hustle for her, if it's less about the heart, whatever the case, maybe I shouldn't even imply it like that. But the optics are what they are. She's clearly grinding off of something that she is passionate about. I just don't know how sincere it is. How much is hatred and how much is out of love? I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah, it is, I don't know. It is interesting to say the least how she's going about using this information and how she's going about presenting the information. It's getting her a lot of views, it's getting her a lot of clicks. So I guess you would be dumb if you didn't take advantage of all the eyes on yourself. So in one regard, I get it, I respect it, but it also does feel a little, ugh, just a little bit. Ugh.
When you're in a position of profiteering, it takes away or it almost completely dissolves this notion of it's just out of good intentions or something like that. At least that's my thoughts. I'd love to hear anybody else. If you agree overall that she's doing what's just done because it's business as usual, by all means, let her make all the money. But let us know in the chat. But I'd be intrigued. Go for it with the text messages here because I have more coverage in her live today. She also made some breaking claims or confirmations regarding Charlie Kirk and another shooter, and we'll get into that.
Yeah, so we're just going backwards right now. So we're going into claims still about Charlie Kirk, but then we'll get back to the most recent video again.
Okay.
I'm gonna put. Let's do this. Just for shits and gigs, let's put the number up now. I opened up Google Voice, so the number is up if you want to have any say or anything on this topic. Go ahead and give us a call, 954-546-3455, 954-546-3455. Give the show a call if you have anything to say on the Israel-Gaza thing, Candace Owens. But now we're going to get into Candace revealing some text messages that I guess were sent to her. All right. So check this out.
So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, ugh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause.
You don't gotta do the stop between everything to make your point. Leaving the pro-Israel cause. There's no way he's like venting or blowing off steam whatsoever, just kind of in private saying some things that he really doesn't mean. Not whatsoever. Like this right here is proof that he was leaving the pro-Israel cause definitively. Duh.
The only honest question I'd propose to everybody, okay, brothers and sisters in our country, in Christ, however you find us unified, is this what you believe? Charlie Kirk, who has moved us all and changed some of our lives, who we watch day in and day out, is this the legacy you think he would want his life's work to just dwindle into nothing more than Israel is the enemy? I don't think just because specific donors decided to pull out has created an anti-Semitic Charlie Kirk by any means. Through the majority of his career, he was massively supportive. Towards the end, which is, I know, very ironic for a lot of people, especially with the conspiracies circulating around, it just becomes, I guess, confirmation bias. And it's a big leap to go from these to, Israel did it. I need more than that.
Well, she didn't say that. She's not accusing Israel, but someone looking at this text message and it being released like this, like what would be the implication though? She's not saying it, but the implication, she's talking about Charlie Kirk dying. These came out 48 or this happened 48 hours before he died. Death died. Israel, Jewish people. I'm not saying anything. Make your own assumptions.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like, come
I'll double down on her very live today. Moments ago, she quote unquote said Israel / Mossad was a part of this. It was a military operation. Charlie Kirk's assassination was a military op funded by Israel. She is not even hiding that there's a possibility. She is doubling down on it, and there's so much more speculation. regarding planes that are there that need to be accounted for, one that she's demanding Kash Patel provide answers for. Why is there a military plane in that area on that day? And maybe if that's a fantastic question. And everything, the suppression of people that were eyewitness on campus, it equates to Israel and or the FBI or our military working for Israel. So I'm going to say she is absolutely blaming Israel. It's not even just asking questions anymore.
I feel it too. I feel the implication there too. And if you don't feel the implication, whether you like it or not, like, you can't sit here and say you don't see the implication. You could say, no, I disagree with it, or I don't think that's what she means, but how she leaves it so vague, and in the context she's releasing and saying these things, like, the implication is it's Jewish people. Let's see, we got a call. See who it is.
Call from
Aiden.
Aiden, welcome to Stuck in the Middle, my friend. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing very good. How y'all doing?
Fantastic, my friend. What do you got
Excellent, sir.
for us?
So I just scrolled past and saw y'all talking about the whole Candace Owens Israel stuff, and I was just curious, why do you guys think it's why would you put it past Israel to do something along those lines? I mean, you're familiar with their track record, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they did some crazy stuff with beepers and pagers. You know, they're definitely very, very equipped to pull off something like this. But
I'm not proposing
to
that
the
it's
okay, got it.
out of question. I'm not proposing that it's out of the question, but I don't think there's enough confidence to completely blame them. Would you agree?
Sure,
or
yeah.
disagree?
I would agree that you can't just off the bat just say, oh, it definitely was them. But I think the implications coming out of those text messages and all that would be an appropriate amount of concern or suspicion, especially just with the timing and all of it, because he was very recently, going back on Israel. I mean, he didn't have a lot of time before he died, and he kind of went the other direction with it.
Don't you see the text messages as simply stating he lost a Jewish donor? Like, I personally don't get the jump from the Jewish donor thing, him losing that, to then it being an Israeli hit. I do think the burden of proof is more on someone suggesting that it was Israel.
Yeah.
And then so therefore, like, just saying, look at the text messages, I don't really think supports that
I mean,
idea.
You're totally right. If you're talking about like a bold claim of, oh, they definitely did it, like, yeah, I would agree that would be too hasty. And the reason why I would say there's suspicion to be drawn from the messages is because if the Israeli donors are backing away, that would be a good indicator of Israeli political stances in general. So if their donors are backing away, it's likely that the government's also going to be ticked off with them because
to be fair,
their interests are aligned.
To be fair, though, all it said was Jewish donor. It didn't say Israeli donor or a Jewish donor from Israel. It simply just said Jewish donor.
Yeah, but I mean, also to be fair, if you look into Jewish donors in general, it's very rare that you find one that's like anti-Zionist on the large scale, like that, putting millions into political things. I mean, I know there are exceptions, but in general, the Zionism is the rule.
So you're saying that, so I guess the implication is because Charlie was turning his back on that's why I don't know. Like, the text message just says, like, the Jewish donors pulling out. It didn't really make a claim as to why.
Well, yeah, so recently, I'm not sure if you've been following it, but for the longest time, Charlie Kirk he'd usually either avoid the Israel topic or just say, oh, they're our ally, the typical neoconservative pro-Israel spiel. And then recently, very recently, and I think it's like this past month or two, he started saying stuff like, yeah, it turns out what they're doing is actually a genocide. They're actually, he really just called them out. I forget, he was on some podcast or something.
Yeah,
and
I saw the one clip of him saying that, but then in the same thing, I think it was from the Megyn Kelly show, but then in the same thing, he's like, he still supports Israel. He still wants to be friends with them. So, like, on the whole,
yeah, well,
that's
him. That's him covering his bases. Like, I mean, if I was him and I was deciding to call it Israel, definitely would put some damage control in there to avoid what happened.
Didn't
but
work.
I think at the end of the day, he can say that he's pro-Israel all he wants, but if he's saying things that really hurt their international public image, they're still going to be unhappy with him.
What did he say then? So I can use the same thing, what you just said, but in reverse. Like, just because from time to time he has critiqued Israel doesn't mean he's anti-Israel.
Yeah, no. And most people wouldn't have said he was anti-Israel until recently. It's just the critiques that he did put out there were like I mean, he's calling it genocide. He's calling what they're doing like war crimes, and it's kind of hard to say you can support a country if you're also saying they commit war. You know what I mean?
Well, like, he's not the only person talking about it. So, like, why would then Israel want to single him out for this action when he does do a lot
for
of help?
multiple reasons.
Okay.
So I would look at it like this. He is a huge talking head. He's especially recently has gotten a lot of attention from young male voters and just young people in general. And so he has a big audience, a lot of sway and potential. And they're getting there's a lot of people in his sphere that are kind of finally taking more charge and talking about Israel, like Tucker Carlson, et cetera. And they had asked him to help them cancel Tucker and help them cancel Candace and all these things. And he was only participating in their information war. And I think it's partially punishing him, but it's more importantly a message. I think it's for all the other people in that political sphere to see, oh shit, whenever Charlie turns his back on Israel, he disappears pretty quickly, because it's really creepy. I don't know how if you know how deep the rabbit hole goes, but even on both sides of the aisle, our politicians will have like a Israel guy, like their APAC guy who is from the Israel American lobby, and it's like a handler almost. And all these people that get free trips to Israel, and they get meetings with Netanyahu himself, like even just senators and random people, and they're getting schmoozed. And he actually got an offer recently that he declined.
Yes,
and
I'd like to ask you a question
that's just my
briefly.
whole thought on that.
When it comes
Go ahead.
to your stance regarding the a few Jews are anti-Zionist. Do you believe that is like pretty universal? You think the majority of Jews are Zionists?
In Israel, yes. In America, I think it depends on where you're at. It varies a lot. I wouldn't say it's ubiquitously. I have no issue with the common American Jew. I don't think they're all like pro-Israel or rabidly dogmatic necessarily. But at the same time, I live in the South. I'm not around a whole bunch of Jews, so I wouldn't really be super in touch with the American Jews' stance. You know what I mean?
I have a great number of family that are Jewish. I am not accepted in the faith because I was not born of a Jewish mother, and I can tell you the entirety of my Jewish family, while they say they support Israel, they are anti-Bibi/Netanyahu. They are anti the expansion. I speak about this with my father at great length. My concern with some of Candace's, I won't even call it, it's rhetoric, speculation, and there is truth, obviously, with Charlie Kirk and where the direction he was going towards the end. But I would ask you to, how do we lead
Basically,
to that?
you're concerned about the anti-Semitism?
That, yes, but before I get to that, how do we connect that to Charlie Kirk was taken out by a Mossad agent? Like,
I mean, it's one of those things where it's not really knowable. It's like probably not going to be proven. It's probably going to be one of those things where it's just like the JFK assassination. Maybe some details come out, and clearly something's fucked up about it, but we'll never know exactly. You know, it might not have been. It could have been CIA. It could have been any number of Western agencies who are all in bed together. You know what I mean?
Listen, you definitely make some compelling points. You know, I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, you know, I can't really, you know, refute that. You know, it's really compelling and it's entertaining. So yeah, definitely keep it up. You're like, I'm like, I feel like I'm being like convinced, like, oh shit, it was Israel. I'm gonna morph into like that kind of
Alex
side.
Jones. They're turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, the frogs are gay. Exactly. Yeah, you got it. Eli, looks like you want to say something.
No, I just, regarding you say it'll probably never be proven. I don't want to believe that, but as these things go, it's been proven time and time again that everything is covered up. I have zero trust in our government. I'll admit that. Yeah. It's almost ironic for me to talk about any support I have for Trump when I simultaneously also just don't trust the powers that be. But when it comes to laying such bold claim confidently, I'm going to continue to just have a quirked eyebrow at the very least. I'm just not sold.
No, I would agree because I wouldn't call it a confident claim on my part. I'd say I have like an 80% lean towards me thinking it was some type of intelligence agency, whether it be CIA or Mossad, but it's not like a definite, like I'll admit I'm agnostic towards it. I can't really know until they fuck up and let something leak out, which if they're any competent at all, they just won't.
Do you believe that Tyler Robertson is a patsy?
Oh, definitely. That part I know for sure. Like the guy that they claim did it, I was watching this stuff on the news as it broke, and the whole they found the gun in the woods, but then he was coming off the roof with the gun. Like, so many different weird details seem to clash. And all I know is that if I'm going to orchestrate some bullshit and get someone assassinated, the guy that's getting caught isn't going to know anything or have any real connection to it other than just being the scapegoat. And since I lean towards thinking it's something nefarious like that, I would imagine it's more likely that he's just some random schmuck that got stuck with it.
Do you believe that, do you think that there is any suspicion, or is it a reason that it was made so public? Do you think that the powers that be would have tried to do this differently, or do you think them doing it in such a public fashion was to instill something in the very public, like fear or something?
I think it was. I would imagine it was largely a message, like not necessarily for the common person, but for all the people that are in the talking head stage or that are in the actual political stage and are in office in some way that are getting their invitations, just to look what happened to the last guy that didn't take the invitation or the last guy that didn't go with our canceling of our political opponents. I think it's more that's the kind of message I would imagine they care about most. The only other thing I could think of would be, here's one thing I think they would like to do and probably often do is they'll take one side, the quote unquote good side, it's never black and white, but just to boil it down, and try to get them rightfully upset about something like the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and then push that further and further and get them not just rightfully upset, but then get them to actually start shit. You know what I mean? Like basically just stoking the division between left and right.
I can see them doing that still, Aiden, but also the assassination being what they say. I can see them also using, I forgot who said it, never let a good tragedy go to waste. I can see them.
So I totally, if it was just a random shooting, then they're definitely using it. That's not, the fact that they're using it doesn't mean it's proof that they did it, but they definitely would use it no matter what, like you said.
Yeah, they would,
And then, the other thing, one little note I wanted to add on that is that whenever it first happened, we saw all this, stuff about the left just, making fun of Charlie Kirk. That felt so fake to me. I'm a conservative, I'm always more on that side of things, but I still felt like the left, making fun of him was very manufactured and was designed to get us upset at the left and do this whole red versus blue thing even harder.
I'm gonna say also the inverse. I think maybe some of the left media talked in a way about him where people wanted to come out and say how much they didn't like him. Because I know some people, legit people, they don't seem like they're just saying this just to get a rise. They genuinely don't like the guy, and they're the ones who kind of repeat ad nauseum all those out of context clips and quotes and stuff like that.
Yeah, no. I'm not denying that there's definitely plenty of people that wrongfully dislike him, but I think there's not as many people that are celebrating his death or laughing at his death necessarily. I think a lot of those people that dislike him keep it within a respectful degree, even though they're ideologues and have been affected by propaganda. I still don't think the average anti-Charlie Kirk, the most common ones you'll see in your life are actually vitriolically I hope he's dead. But I could be wrong because that's not my circle. I wouldn't know, I guess, because I don't talk to them that much anymore. I used to grow up with people like that a lot, but lately,
let me ask you one last question.
That circle.
Let me ask you or one more question, and if Eli, you got one. Let's say it was Mossad, okay? Let's say it was Mossad or whatever. It was Israel. I'd like to know. So, do you think the shot in the neck was planned or was it an accident?
I wouldn't know. I would.
Because
it's really hard to guess. I could figure for hours and think of all the different things that they would want to do it and how they would do it.
But they're very precise, though. If this was an assassination with a rifle, I think you'd be hard pressed for them to aim for the neck. So,
no, definitely not. Definitely not. If you look into the modern military tech, without even having a trained person, they are definitely capable of producing rifles that can automatically, not saying the bullet will lock on or anything, but you can get optics that make aiming easy and account for everything from wind pressure to all these things. They just have to put a lot of money in it. But I don't even think they used a gun. Honestly, if Mossad did it, I doubt it was with a rifle. I saw this interesting claim. I haven't really researched it yet, so I don't know how bullshit it is, but some people were saying, what if his fucking lapel mic,
the lavalier mic,
had a little,
a
little charge in it, kind of like what they were doing with the fucking the beepers, you're talking about earlier, just pulling another pager, but with his mic.
Someone brought up a great point, and I forgot who it was, but when we were doing that stream, we were going over that conspiracy. And if it was an explosion from that lavalier mic, you would have some type of burn, something residue that we would visibly see moments after on his white shirt, moments after it happened.
Well, hear me out. I don't necessarily think it was the lapel thing. Like, I'm leaning towards probably not. But if it was, keep in mind, there's a lot of technology out there. They may have propelled it without something that leaves a combustion or a gas or residue. Like, there's
like
a lot of
air.
interesting. It could have been
Right.
could have been air. Could have been electromagnets.
I got you. Like a pump pellet gun.
Things.
You know, like you could pump pressure into a pellet gun and shoot a pellet, and that's all air pressure.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need an explosion.
Yeah, hypothetically, it could have been something more straightforward like that.
Did you watch Candace Owens' last live today, perchance?
I've seen some clips, but no, I haven't really been keeping up with it. I'm generally pretty out of touch with all the news stuff. Lately, I've been looking a little bit more, but was there something of note?
So yeah, no, there's something I'd like to tell you. I forgot if I even said it on stream earlier, but she has confirmed via her opinion. All right, so let me pull up my notes, but she believes she has 100% unequivocally debunked the fact that it was a .30-06 caliber and that it was a rifle shot that was discharged to muffle a smaller caliber, and she is 100% certain that it was somebody in the front of the audience. Do you believe this? I don't want to say possibility. I'll put you on the spot. Like, given that information, do you believe her?
So, anyone who hasn't studied these facts, or anyone who isn't already familiar with this stuff and would tell you I believe it or I don't believe it off the bat is kind of a retard for like making opinions off of nothing. So I'll be straight with you that I'll have to research that to give you a real good opinion. But my intuition, just my instincts, my leanings, I'll say that that's plausible. I mean, there's many things like that have come up in the past. Like, for instance, like the Las Vegas shootings, they're able to prove that was not an honest shooting because the audio from the gunfire did not match up with the alleged rounds being used, the 5.56 or 2.23, and actually instead matched up with the audio signature from like an M23 machine gun that would have been the likely things that they were using in the helicopters that were spotted by multiple. So because of stuff like that, with the Candace Owens thing, it sounds plausible. I don't immediately say it's not true, but I'm not confident on it. I'll have to look at that audio myself and study it.
They could have given Tyler Robinson, like, he uses the gun, but the bullet is a blank to create the noise.
Yeah.
But then
that's very plausible.
But then how are you going to coincide the timing perfect enough to make this happen? He would have to have some prior knowledge of there be a countdown or a special word that was being said.
Or the rifle could have been fitted to electronically fire. It could have had an automatic fire mechanism where all it has to do is point it, and whenever the time is ready, it just does it. All it has to do is hold it.
So a different remote detonator theory, but the remote detonator for the closer gun is tied into Tyler Robinson's rifle trigger. So not only
possibly there's multiple ways they could have done that. Yeah.
Man, compelling. I like it. This is probably one of my favorite calls in a while. No offense to anybody out there who's called. Yeah, this is great. Hang on one second. We'll let you wrap it up, but I got to put somebody else on hold right quick. Let me see. Hang on.
Call from
Felipe.
I'm sorry. Who's this?
Oh, Felipe.
Hey, Felipe. Hold 1 second. All right, we're gonna wrap up with Aiden on the other line, and we'll be right back to you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Aiden.
Yes.
Sir, thank you so much for your call. We do have somebody else on the other line that wants to get through. You've been a very compelling caller. I'd like to give you the chance, maybe take a few seconds and just put a bow tie again on why you called, and we'll let you
or
go.
anything.
Yeah,
anything.
Whatever
Final say, my friend.
Yeah. So just my final say is that was a good talk about the Candace Owens stuff. It's always good whenever we don't know the facts. We should always let our speculation stay that. Don't believe anything till you know it. And we're all often too hasty to jump to conclusions. And that's my spiel.
Aiden, thank you so
I'd
much,
like
man.
to say we can only hope that you'd be a fan of us, but I want to say we're a fan of you.
Indeed.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll start checking out. This is my first day I saw y'all. Just hopped on, but I want to subscribe and keep up and see how y'all do.
Appreciate you, Aiden. Have a good day, man.
Yeah,
God
you
bless,
too, guys.
man.
Bye-bye.
Aiden, everybody. Felipe, thank you so much for hanging on. Thanks.
I can't hear you. What was that?
Thank you so much for hanging on, man. What do you got for us tonight? Welcome to Stuck in the Middle.
Well, so you're live, right? You're on the live?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I was just going to say that. So there's a lot of people that do believe that it was a Mossad because they have so much. Look, what was going on before Charlie died, the people he spoke to, what was going on with him behind the scenes that we not general public doesn't know about. Look, those people are known to use those tactics. They want to silence you. You know,
all intelligence
they do that.
agencies are known to be able to do what was done. But all right, my apologies. Please continue.
Well, look, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it. But I know for sure that it wasn't that young man that killed Charlie Kirk. I know that for sure. They want to give. See,
What makes you,
they want to give us
Felipe? What makes you so sure that it wasn't that young man, Tyler Robinson?
for different reasons. For different reasons. But one of them is also the story that they're saying that he jumped off of the building with the rifle inside his pants.
Well, I mean, I believe he jumped off the building with the rifle wrapped in a towel. I don't think he jumped it off with like there was so much misinformation, and like they were reporting on it so fast, and even they didn't have the right information, they could have been sharing the news themselves, right and wrong information, like without even realizing it.
Have you noticed this? They already that young man's already went to court. I was watching it today. In fact, where he's just sitting there like he's just a mannequin, you know.
So he had no emotion.
They're so eager to just put him in trial, get it over with, get rid of it. He killed him. That's it. We're done.
Yeah, I mean, and then in the same breath, like here's like if it is Tyler, you would see why they would want to kind of get it over if they feel like they have this compelling evidence, because it's an open case. They're not going to share everything with us yet, but I'm saying we could look at it both ways, exactly with what you're saying. Like they want to get they want to get it done so quick. They want to sweep it under the rug. They want to get him convicted. It's like that's kind of weird. But also, if they're 100% sure on the information they do have, like, yeah, we're going to get it done quick and we're going to get this guy the death penalty because it was him. So you can use that logic on both sides, though, too.
Yes, for sure. But I think that honestly, there's a lot of good reasons, and there's a lot of things there to investigate these people. You know, the Mossad. Talking about the Mossad.
Right.
You know, and look. This thing, and I agree with Candace about a lot of things about the Israel. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a the Palestinians either. I think they're savages too. But I think that the Israel are savages too. They're savages. What they're doing is savage.
Right.
Because so both of these people are savages. The Palestinians but I'm not talking about just the people, but the government, what they're doing. Hamas is a savage. The government in Israel is a savage. They're savages. What they're doing to each other, you know.
Well,
but I do think, honestly, I think me and a lot of people, because I'm a Trump supporter, 3 times voted for him, and 3 times he won, and I'm Hispanic, I'm Mexican. I do believe that a lot of people believe that it was the Mossad. We're not buying into this young 23-year-old doing all that. We're not buying it.
I'm inclined to agree with you based on surely what I'm seeing. A lot of people do believe, in fact, what you do believe. My question, though, would be when there's 2 opposing sides that are at war, when do they not look like savages, though? I know maybe perhaps I have bias when it comes to studying some of the tenets of Islam and Sharia law. I know why I call some of them savages. But in the tenets of Israel or the Talmud, I don't know. I see more civilization. But when it comes to fighting, they get their hands bloody like everybody else in a conflict.
Can I ask?
Well, history tells me. If I go back to history, since I'm a Christian, right? I'm a Christian. If I go back to history, it's the same tactics they used with Christ and the apostles. They want to silence them, so they say, you know something, we're going to kill him. And now we're not only going to kill him, since now we have to kill we have to kill also his followers, because they're saying that he resurrected. And they're using the same, and now they're using the same tactics. They're the same thing. They're the same thing. They haven't changed.
Felipe.
They have not changed. And I'm Jew, by the way, too.
Felipe, can I ask you a question? You said you and a lot of people, Trump supporters out there, believe it was the Mossad. They don't believe it was this young man. My question for you is there a world, is there a certain amount of evidence that when it does come out where you will believe it? Or are you of the stance right now that you're never going to believe the official narrative?
No. Evidence is key. Evidence is key. I'm not saying 100%, but look, you could give that to an 18-year-old. You're not gonna sell that to a 40 or over. I'm 52. You're not gonna sell that easy to us. You know, it's not going to happen. We have a look. I also believe Candace Owens is doing so good. She even with the John F. Kennedy. Did you see what she was talking about John F. Kennedy? She said the Mossad did it too, and it was under our nose. She used Israeli newspapers. She used newspapers from all over the place that have nothing to do with like. But the point is that she's doing a really great job.
Yeah.
And I want to see evidence too. I'm not saying 100% they did it. No, I can't really say that because there's got to be an opening to where you have to be open to evidence.
Of course, that is refreshing to hear. I like the idea that you're like, listen, I dabble in this, but once the evidence is there, I'm gonna go with what the solid evidence says. So I respect that as well. Eli,
My sincere question, since we're all, well, you and I, sir, Felipe, we're both Trump supporters. I am also Hispanic. I'm Colombian, and I am rejected from the Jewish faith. So I call myself a Jubian prince at times. But I want to ask, since we are Trump supporters, Candace Owens today vilified and laughed at Trump's attempt at a peace deal and said she said everybody connecting from benefiting from this peace deal is cursed, and she cursed their children too. How do you feel when she starts to vilify the very man we voted for?
Look. I voted for Trump, and I do believe that Trump was honest when he started, but right now he's doing things that I question. I'm not. He hasn't lost my support, but I do believe that he's doing things that I don't like right now. For one, he's not ending. He could end the Ukraine war immediately. All he has to do. They want to cover the sun with one finger. All he has to do is say, look, no more money to Ukraine. That's it. No more money because we shouldn't be in that war. We should not be in that war. Now on the war with Israel, let me tell you one thing, okay? I want to understand this. Why are we helping Israel? Don't get me wrong. I don't hate no human being, but why are we helping Israel? What? Give me one. Because they killed our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, or because why? Well, give me a reason why we're helping them.
I think one of the biggest.
People.
I think one of the reasons, just in general, maybe not as drastic as that, but why America and Israel are friends. I think it goes back to that whole big evil, little evil thing. I think America has somebody on their side in the Muslim Arab world that most of these people don't like America to begin with, or most of their governments, I should say, aren't too fond of what America has to begin with. So it's almost like Israel is our boots on the ground in that area to kind of give the temperature check of everything that's going on that side of the world.
Global policing on that side of the world.
Yeah, kind of like our snitch.
Yes, I agree with that. But the thing is, see, if we go back to history, more than like just 50, 60 years, we'll find out that we were not enemies with the Arab countries. We started being enemies with the Arab countries when we started taking sides.
Right.
Israel's right about everything they do is okay. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to sound like I have. I'm sorry, real quick. I don't want to sound like I have
If you go
vitriol.
back more, you're not going to see that we were enemies with them.
It's in their doctrine. It's in their scripture, at least for, I don't want to generalize Arabs, but the Muslim Bible, the Quran, says it's okay to lie, cheat, steal, kill, kafirs, that is us that are non-believers, and they openly state they want to infiltrate and propagate and overtake all of the European countries. So I guess it's hard if we're going to look at them both as evils to see which one is the
wrong
lesser.
there, but they're bad at doing that. But we're the same with the Israelites. It's the same thing. They don't. You think they like us? You think they're less hostile to Jesus Christ than they were when they killed him 2,000 years ago? I got news for you. They're not. They're not. But we want to, because we see, with the problem with us is this, with the U.S., the problem is this. We think that the Bible says that they are the people that God, the chosen people. But in reality, when they say, let the blood of this man be upon us and upon our children, it's clear that the Lord rejected them. And then that's what happened in the year 70 AD. That's why they were destroyed the way they were destroyed by the General Titus. That these people even ate their children. It's all in history. See, the thing is, when they rejected Christ, Christ rejected them. And then those people that land belongs to is the Jews that became Christians and lost their identity, they're scattered. Even the Bible says they're scattered around the whole world. Those are the true Jews that God is talking about. not the Jews, the unbelieving Jews. The unbelieving Jews, they're just being gathered together because the Bible says that they have to be gathered together. So the fierce anger of the Lord will be poured upon them.
You believe that the Jewish people are heretics and will burn.
Jesus.
No, I believe that anybody that doesn't believe in Jesus Christ, because there's no name under heaven that a man can be saved only by the name of Jesus Christ. That I do believe. They rejected him for over 2,000 years ago, and they still to this day they don't want to accept them, even though they see the Christians how we are with them and with many other nations. So God is going to gather them together there to just destroy them and bring. He's going to clean up that land. Basically, he's going to clean up that land, and he's going to take the Christians that will be saved. He's going to take them to the province, to that land, because they're actually, a lot of them are Jews that they lost their identity through because remember the 10 tribes were scattered, and and it said it to many nations. It was scattered to many nations.
Heard that. We do have to get back to some more of the Kansas stuff. We're kind of getting off track a little bit, so that's why I was trying to butt it. But hey, man, what we do appreciate is you chiming in and hanging out with us and sharing your thoughts and opinions here on Stuck in the Middle here tonight, Felipe. So thank you so much, man, for calling in.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Felipe. Felipe, everybody, crushing it, man, crushing it. Seems like he doesn't like the Jews, though. Seems like he's not a fan of the Jews.
I just look for the distinction of, I guess the look of the Zionist Jew and, the Jews that really don't want to see more bloodshed. It is a thing. It's not a fable. And I saw some comment alluding to that, there are some tenets of Islam that they don't want to occupy the European countries. I'll just leave that to the broad space that is the internet. You can look that up for yourself. I've had my own personal experiences, which are anecdotal, but Islam's ultimate goal, in my belief, is that they want to overtake every European country. We got a call.
Call from
Aiden again.
It's Aiden again.
Hey, I'm glad to be back. Very, very long time, I know.
Yeah, long time listener, first time caller. What's up, Aiden?
Yeah, so did I miss anything whenever that guy left? Last thing I heard was that y'all said he wasn't a big fan of the Jews.
He was just not a big fan of the Jews. Jews are heretics, apparentely. You're saying yes, like you agree with him, or
no?
I mean, to a degree. I mean, probably maybe not as dogmatically as he is. I do take a lot of issues with Jewish culture and modern Jewish theology, but obviously, I don't think every Jew represents the bad parts of their culture the same way that not every white person's a colonist, or you know what I mean? Like,
right.
There's always exceptions.
There are things you don't like about the culture, but the culture doesn't make the person.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also positive things about the culture too. There's not all negative. But
that's good.
And quick question: are both of y'all Christian, or where are y'all spiritually? Just curious.
I was born Catholic.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I was baptized. I got confirmed, and I did my Holy Communion. I did the whole 9 yards, Sunday school, all that fun stuff.
Nice.
I was an atheist for the very longest time, but I was born and baptized Catholic. I've studied almost every dogma of spirituality there is out there. Only for the past 2 years have I been making an attempt at being a Christian again, and this is only recent.
Beautiful.
And I do battle very much with understanding or believing the Bible, but I'm trying.
Yeah, I totally feel you, man. I was very similar. I was raised vaguely Protestant for my early life, and I was an atheist from 12 to like 16. Well, agnostic for most of that. I was just vaguely open to spiritual stuff by the end of it. And then in my time, just asking the universe whatever the truth was, it felt like the Holy Spirit's what answered me. And just to keep that short, I don't turn this into a whole sermon thing. But so good to know. What are y'all's thoughts on Jewish culture and stuff like the Talmud? I know it's a hot topic, and since Israel's up, I was just curious how y'all think that plays into the current debates and all that.
Aiden, are you recording a show right now, dude? Are you interviewing us? It sounds like it's like, you know what? Welcome to the Aiden show.
No. I'm just really curious.
Ask the question one more time. Jokes aside, and then we do got to get to the Candace video.
what is our stance on the Jewish religion? I think is
Or just generally religion, the culture, but more specifically the Talmudic stuff. You know what I mean? That's obviously like what people mostly are upset about. The average
Would you have a specific
conservative or
passage to
Reformed
help
Jews
us?
don't get much into that, I hear.
Yeah, I'm ignorant on the whole Talmudic stuff, so I don't know what to be outraged at or what not to be outraged at. If you could give me some.
Yeah,
some
so
information.
if you look up, you can go to Safaria. That's the online Talmud. You can type in Gittin, Gitten 57a, and it takes you to a passage where they're talking about a necromancer who allegedly, obviously falsely, resurrected the spirit of Jesus and interrogated him and found out that he was boiling in human excrement in hell. And let me tell you, whenever they describe the human excrement, they actually tell you what it is, and it's multiple things. It's awful. That's one of the big ones that Christians get upset about, naturally.
So hang on. So they said that essentially Jesus is boiling in hell. That's what?
Yeah, they basically claim that Jesus was a heretic that is suffering and boiling in hell, and they describe it quite vilely, really. That's putting it short.
Yeah, maybe they like to be really descriptive. What's this? What's the second one? What's the second one?
Well, there's more than two, but there's parts in it that talk about almost like the Muslim thing that we brought up earlier. But there's sections that say, do not allow a Gentile to pry into the law, into the Talmud, and if you find any that do that, you must put them to death. And there's one quote, one of the most famous quotes that actual anti-Semites love to throw out there, but it is a quote from it, is that if the Gentiles found out what we say about them, they would surely round us all up and put us to death. And that's just quite on the nose.
One thing I've learned in attempting to understand like theology better is that reading almost full context, the entire page instead of by passage, because I used to get into debates when I was an atheist with Christians, and I would cite passages without having any frame of reference. So I can just tell you,
absolutely.
so
No, you have a point.
honestly, I very much so. I can only tell you to have an honest answer here is that I would have to do a little more than just read the passage.
Yeah,
it sounds fucking
that's
awful.
That's a good answer. That's the only answer that should be heard. You should never take my word for anything. And
Nice.
to give you an example, to give you credit on your side of it, one of the really popularly spouted things in the Talmud that is actually a misunderstanding is that there's a line talking about how it's okay to have sexual relations with a girl. She's under the age of 3, and that's like poking her eye. And that one I do know for sure is actually taken out of context, and it's not really saying that. What it's saying, actually, at this point, it's been so long since I've studied, I forgot what it was actually saying, but it was something along the lines of talking about what the consequences were for people that were caught doing that. And the way it was phrased with one snippet, it kind of looked like it was like condoning it.
Right. Right.
So I know what you mean. Yeah, there's
context
totally
matters.
Things like out of context.
Yeah, context matters for sure.
And just ironically, I learned that lesson because I would often try to get a gotcha on Christians in general, and I recognize the irony that I'm probably painting with that same brush when it comes to my take on Islam. It's just I feel like I've personally seen too many damn examples where they do act up, so to speak, in all over the world, in the UK or in their own country, where intolerance I've seen just pushed to the furthest edge. But I know I sound biased, and perhaps I am.
Yeah, maybe so, but I will say I'm sure at least half of your criticisms are really valid, if not more than that, when it comes to Islam. Like, take this, for instance. This gotcha is great because it's really not – there's really no way to get around it, but they really put a lot of respect into Jesus as a prophet and say that Jesus was with the Spirit and that he knew what he was talking about. And Jesus also says, I am who is, I am God, basically. And whenever he is threatened with the death penalty for claiming to be God, he doesn't say, oh, no, I'm being metaphorical, guys. He says, do what you will. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, he was all about it.
That's one of my favorite debunkings of Islam right there. It's a really short one.
Aiden, dude, thank you so much. Like, you're like the book of knowledge. Aiden calls in. Thank you, man. Thank you, my friend, for calling in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Please feel free to call in like anytime we're live. We always have the phone lines up.
Yeah, we do have to try to get back to some more of this Candace stuff. Like I do have a hard out in like 45 minutes. So I don't want to leave anything on the table here, but we'll see how it goes.
And do you have any Candace questions or comments towards me before I go?
Not at the moment. But I guess are you familiar with the text messages that she just released or no?
Yeah, I saw the screenshots of those, and
what would you think? Let's just say she's never said the words that she accuses Israel. What do you think the implication of her showing these text messages, one might think of?
I mean, I think that was the clear implication. I mean, I think she was trying to imply that Israel was involved in some way,
Right,
and
okay, yeah, okay.
I don't think there's really any other way to construe that.
Yeah, I like if you're not being reasonable, I think you're gonna find a way to pretend as if, oh no, she's not saying that. No. But the implication is there. So yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I was just testing you. Aiden. Seeing where you were at.
Thank
All right,
you.
we're gonna
And
get back
before I go, can I make a request for a topic?
Sure.
Next time y'all do a show at some point?
Go for
So
it.
I would love,
Best caller
and
ever.
especially if I'm free, I'd love to jump in on it, but talking about J.D. Vance and his Peter Thiel connections, and is he a plant, is he genuine, that kind of stuff.
JD Vance / Peter Thiel's connection.
I don't like that Peter Seal either.
Me neither. He rubs me the wrong way, man.
Peter.
Feel free to, you can find me at Progressive Patriot 44@gmail.com or Stuck in the Middle Show, the Stuck in the Middle Show. I check my emails every day. If you want to ever send topics, clips, we will play. We rely on audience engagement and feedback to keep on going. So please feel free. You can if you just type Progressive Patriot in the YouTube search engine, Eagle with a cigar will pop up. It's me, and I'm the first thing that pops up.
Perfect. I'll check you out. Well, thanks for having me. Y'all have a good rest of your show.
All right, Aiden. Thank you.
Thank you, Aiden.
Now we'll try to get back some of the Candace stuff. Let's say, I mean, like we've gone. It felt like we've gone so off course a little bit. It's like, come on, let's get back.
But yeah, we're gonna pull it right back to where it needs to be. But I'm very much at peace with it. It's important discussions that we're having. I'm just proud that they're being had.
Yeah.
And here where it belongs,
as always.
Leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty.
It's almost interesting how she released a group of text messages that was also talking about her. Like, just go figure that it also was talking about her in these text messages too. Like, see, he said my name. See, like,
yeah, you cannot deny, what the optics are, and I see a lot of me as a result of Charlie Kirk, and she was really trying to reignite the image that they were still like talking every day. It's not the truth. Yes, they were friends. They had a falling out.
Friendly.
But this idea that they were besties until the final day is just a lie.
Yeah.
Free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down. Not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about.
So she throws out this was 48 hours before his assassination. Jewish people, not afraid. I'm not saying anything. What do you think, though?
Again, it's a veil of only asking questions or reading extremely, one-sided anything. Real quick, I got a clip of a comment I'm gonna read just so we can clip this later. Thank you for joining us. 1 Cup 2 Bears, fantastic name. What if you're stuck in the middle as on the fence? What if we choose light or darkness and that fence impales us in our ass?
What's the question, though?
Well, basically, if they decide not to be a fence sitter,
Right,
with that
okay.
pail in the ass, you're choosing the darkness by not choosing the light. What's the value in being stuck in the middle? I suppose, unless they want to articulate themselves.
Well, definitely, I see your point, and the value is definitely not to be impaled in the ass. So don't do that. That's not our intention of being stuck in the middle. So just get that right out of the thing. But I will give people credit, because I don't think you have to be stuck in the middle to be able to see both sides. You could be left, but also understand some of the good things or things that the right are doing that you see the left are manipulating, and vice versa. You can be on the right and see something on the left, blah, blah, blah. So you don't got to be stuck in the middle, but that was just a fun name for a show, man. That's all that was.
And to get deeper, there's always going to be value in somebody that's calling shit out on both sides, and you can't convince me otherwise. And that's as far as I'll go with that. But I do appreciate the feedback since we thrive off of that. It's our only currency. We ain't getting paid for this shit.
Oh, check. So this is now Andrew Colvett is going to admit to the validity of said text messages, but he follows it up with some things that I would like to try and attempt to make a point of. It might be a little convoluted, but I have something there, and hopefully watching this again sparks or triggers it in me. Let's see.
But I want to take the start of this show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there. I first want to say the reason I didn't share that screen grab publicly is because it was a private exchange, and I felt like it didn't necessarily comport with things that were already public. I wanted to not betray my friends' trust in that way. But I did share it with some people in government because it happened really quick. It was, it took 33 hours for authorities to get their suspect. And in those first moments, we wanted no stone unturned.
So do you see? So I feel like, so he's kind of implying here that they're like, wow, that was kind of fast, 33 hours. So here's also some other things. Just look into everything though. Like look into everything. Let's not leave anything, no stone unturned, as he said. So like there was this implication that he gave that he almost was taken aback by how fast Tyler was caught. Did you catch that or no? Because he says this whole thing happened so fast. It took 33 hours to catch him. Like the implication to me seems like, wow, that was fast. That happened so fast. So I want to
valid. What I do firmly believe, I don't believe he's bullshitting, is that he was retaining as much of everything that could be related solely for the investigation.
Right. Which leads you to believe that Candace Owens got this stuff leaked from someone who had information regarding the investigation.
Yeah, I mean, definitely within the realm of possibility. There's only 7 to 9 people,
which
one of them, or absolutely.
Which leads me to believe that some of these conspiracy theories, some of them, not all of them, some of them were started before, and they were started internally through, Andrew Colvett. It wasn't a conspiracy. It was just look into everything. Here's a possibility. Here's a possibility, right? And then here's the possibilities. And then they finally figure out it was Tyler. The possibilities go away. What you have now is someone leaking the initial possibilities as still open. Like they're leaking the speculation to Kansas, and it almost seems as if the speculation is still going on when in fact this happened before they caught Tyler. They were trying to figure out where to look. Where to look is phase 1. What was leaked was just phase 1, where to look. It didn't finish. So does this make sense? I told you it's going to be kind of convoluted, but it's like
to reignite
this. Like what was leaked was like old information, so to speak, and people are still using this old information to build more and more new information off of. It's like you're building on a bad base.
Yes, precisely. I agree. Leaking this information now only helps to reaffirm her entire framework and/or narrative. And I just need to clarify this comment. Thank you, Twisted Soul. Fence sitting is weak as fuck, brother. It's a fucking title, but God bless.
It's actually pretty hard. So I would love to see you try to fence sit because you get shit on from both sides. If you're on the right, you just get shit on by the left. And vice versa.
Yeah,
but if you're in the middle, both sides are like, we actually bring both sides together over their hate of the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm
sorry, we're cool.
Yeah, too cool for school, man. Look, I've said this story too damn often. Currently, advid active Trump supporter. My old story is I used to be on the left, but I'm still going to call out horse shit on either side.
We also
Always.
calling him.
Call from.
Joe Barron.
To accept, press 1.
Joe Barron, hello, sir. How are you tonight on this
Howdy,
fine
guys.
night of Stuck in the Middle?
How's it going?
It's going, sir. It's going. How's it going with you, man?
What's good?
Good. Good, man.
What do you got for us?
Did you guys get a lot of submissions on that theme song? I think like 3 weeks ago we were talking about getting you guys a theme song, and I was wondering if you had any other submissions.
Oh, what? As far as the stuff we play at the beginning of the episode?
No, the Stuck in the Middle jingle, the intro song. We talked about that.
Well,
I said that I was going to work on something for you, and I was wondering if you had any other viewer submissions.
Well, so if you've heard at the beginning of the episodes before we play the actual intro, those Stuck in the Middle, like all those songs, some are AI, but those were submitted by friends and people who were like, hey, try this song out. So if you got one, send it over to stuckinthemiddleshow@gmail.com and we'll check it out, Joe Barron.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. Good.
All right.
Good.
Heck yeah. You got anything on the Candace or anything else, or you just want to call and talk about the intro?
Well, you got to like with Candace looking into things at a minimum. You know, you may not like where she's going with things, but at least she's kind of like digging it up. And she was there with Charlie like in the beginning when they were like teenagers. Yep. They know each other. They text each other. She knows what Charlie was thinking and the whole, pressure that she was feeling. It was felt by Megan. It was felt by Tucker. You know, that whole, run with this narrative regarding the war in Gaza and stuff. And mind you, with Gaza, that land was given to them and said, okay, this is part of Arafat's peace deal, and we're going to give you millions of dollars. And they took that money and they used it to build tunnels.
Yep.
And it's not like Gaza is a slum. Gaza's rubble now. So think of this: in 3 to 4 years, what is Gaza going to be? How is it going to? People aren't going to live in there, and who's going to pay to rebuild Gaza? Shit. It's Israel that's given all those Gazans care packages and food. Who bombs somebody and then gives them food? That's crazy.
I mean, it is like a war thing, though. Like when we go in and like hurt a country, I do believe we give the country back some kind of aid. We help them. I mean, that's what we did in Afghanistan and Iraq. We rebuild and we bring them democracy. So I mean, there is something to say that it's not that far fetched that they're doing that.
But the war's still going on, so we're feeding the enemy. I mean, basically, all of those Palestinians, they hate the Jews. I mean, they'll throw rocks. It's not like the Israeli troops can go into Gaza. They'll kill them, but they'll take the food. I say drop off fucking kosher food for the fuckers.
So what you're saying?
If Trump gets it his way, we're gonna have a beach resort allegedly, and some kind of Trump Tower. If we're going to fully believe Candace Owens and him being a real estate guy, hey, what? I can't put it past anybody. We can't pretend we don't know what we don't know, but I get you, man.
I think Trump is being his normal hyperbolic self. Like we might have beach, we might have Hotel Trump there. He's just kind of getting people worked up, riled up, but also throwing out this idea that whoever rebuilds it maybe can make it a little better than what it was.
One can only hope.
Maybe.
So.
Yeah, maybe. I think that there's some type of oil pipeline. They're going to make it a big port to get Mideast oil. Like that be a port. But
shit,
I don't know.
That's just about the most common sense thing I've heard. It would not be
that's not far fetched at all.
Twisted Soul, I see you, man. It's all good. I get you were being sarcastic.
All
Joe,
right,
dude,
Joe.
thank you.
It has
for
to
the
be.
call.
It has to be no man's land. Like nobody's going to live there because the Jews ain't going to be attacked again, and the Palestinians ain't going to want to live there. I don't know. I
Right.
think it's going to be rubble for the rest of our lives. It should be. Is it? I mean, it's nothing. There's nothing there. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be able to live there. I mean, it's just rubble.
It's
But
definitely going to take a while
whatever.
to rebuild. So, like, us people, we got a lot of time to see, hopefully, the rebuilding process happen. But until then, Joe, thank you so much for calling in, and send that intro song or that idea over to stuckinthemiddleshow@gmail.com, and we'll check it out, man.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Later.
Joe, thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
JB, Joe Barron, everybody. Let's get back to Andrew Colvette. Is it Colvette or Colvette? I have no idea.
I wrote it down.
Colvette?
Colvette. Fuck it.
Or
It's whatever we
Colvette?
want.
I think it's Colvette. Andrew Colvette.
Yes.
Andrew Colvette. All right, let's keep it going because he's going to say something else that will then build on my convoluted rant. But
Can
the
I make
idea go ahead.
a request since we have a hard out ahead of us? Kill the phones?
Ish. You want to kill the phones for now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right.
We'll get them off for now. Bam. But if you got the number, fuck. All right. Let's see. Continue this.
Import with things that
What's
were
up?
already public. I wanted to not betray my friend's trust in that way. But I did share it with some people in government because it happened really quick. It was, it took 33 hours for authorities to get their suspect. And in those first moments, we wanted no stone unturned. We wanted to leave nothing unturned. So I shared it with a few people. Don't know where it went from there, apparently. But here we are. So one of the reasons, Blake, that I'm glad to have this now public.
So, to me, Candace is building this whole idea off some of these text messages where they were just giving these out as, here, check it out. This is what it could be. This is what it could be, until the FBI or whoever had more leads, more evidence that directed the investigation more to this kid than all the other things. And now what all Candace is getting is these speculative ideas, what could have happened before the case was even looked into in Tyler's sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she just got part 1. There's a part 2, 3, and 4, and 5 of the investigation she didn't get, but she's building her whole, substance off part 1.
And this is, it's not a dig at her. This is part of the course for her formula. Every new bit of information, be it old or not, she's going to treat it like it's the smoking gun for everything. It's just how she rolls.
Yeah. Do you care? Go ahead.
So no. Did you have something?
No, I was gonna say, do you care about a clip? This is from a recent video before we even get to your video that you sent in, but it's about her claiming that Charlie thought he was going to be killed before, like 24 hours before the assassination. You want to see her make that accusation?
Please feel
Because
free.
I got a comment
and there's
on
a
that
new
as well.
a new comment I'd like to read. What's
for
up,
it.
Rich? And establish that. Did I miss the first comment? All right, no. And establish themselves as the governing body, which would be Israel in the aftermath. Now we only give Afghanistan, the Taliban, mind you, roughly 88 million a month in aid.
88 million a month? Is that real? I thought
I
we
can't
bounced.
say definitively,
Yeah,
but
me neither.
We have a history of feeding. What were the Taliban before they were the Taliban? I mean, that's no news to anybody. We created the Taliban.
Yeah, we created them
funded that
during
shit.
we gave them weapons and shit like that to fight Russia.
Yeah.
They're
You know what? And I want to wholeheartedly just agree with my chest out here regarding, was it Philip or Felipe that said we should be ending that conflict in Ukraine? We should be pulling out of the Ukrainian conflict. I do want to just say I agree with that wholeheartedly. And if we want to be seeing peace in the Middle East or not, it sounds like some people don't at all. We should want to see it universally applied. So, agreed. We should not have any involvement in that fucking conflict. Anyway,
here's
go
Candace.
on with the clip, sir.
Go on with the Candace. Here's Candace making a claim that Charlie thought he was going to be killed 24 hours before he was killed.
One more thing rather explosively.
Boom!
3 people told me off record two people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay. He did not express that to me. So I am telling you this based off the testimony of.
Because they talked all the time, him and her. He didn't,
And she's saying this based off the testimony.
Three people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that.
So here's a guy who went around school to school, put himself out in the open, who's probably had death threats before.
In abundance,
who's probably had the same conversation. Hey, I think they're going to kill me. See, these conversations lead to him getting security. So he's probably thought this before, and that's why he got security. And that's where, times he's allegedly worn body armor. So I think it's more of a coincidence that he said this, or just not pulling back and looking at all the times he said that. He almost said that like, maybe he said it every time before he went to a fucking school. Oh, these people are going to kill me. It's just.
Yeah, no, he was no stranger to living in this danger. And
hey, I see what you did there. That was good. He was no stranger to living in this danger.
I'm dropping an album come next week. Just you wait. It's called the PP Mile, like 8 Mile, but PP is progressive. Okay. Anyway,
weird,
yeah, no,
but all right.
I would not be shocked at all that he had even a sense of gallows humor about his life being put on the line every time he went to a mostly liberal campus. Not shocking at all. Thank you, Candace.
Yeah. And he never told me. So, yeah. She only came to that conclusion because by default, because those texts were sent to somebody else and not her, he never told Candace this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they only weren't friends since like the last time they were actively communicating, like super active, was like 2016. So
didn't she do something for, not to say that they were active in communication, but she did start to get back in the good graces of Turning Point or something like that? Because didn't she do an event for
right
them?
Back out.
Oh, did she really? Okay.
Yeah. And it could have been 2018, just in case to cover my ass. But yeah, it did not work out. She was not going to fall back in line.
Between the years of 2016 and 2018.
Yeah. Yes. I can clarify that much.
I definitely don't think we're getting to Jesse on fire tonight, but we have Candace's latest video that you got us some nice timestamps for. So I don't know if you remember all your timestamps, but would you say each one is pretty decent, or is there ones that kind of justify being seen first? Like, for instance,
Kelsey, welcome. Feel free to re-clarify. I know they had spoken a little bit after one of those 2 years, 2016 to 2018, but he said in September that he was bringing her back.
Okay.
Well, I have to be prepared to be wrong, and I will look into it, but the last thing that I have seen personally is that there was a failed attempt.
Any person with common sense can tell you.
Man, YouTube is not responsive. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, every bit that I did pull, it was because, like, I put in all caps why I put it there. You might have to jump back 2 seconds or so, but yeah. Which one you going for?
Well, we'll just go with her allegedly debunking the caliber.
The caliber, yep.
We'll go with that one. We'll see what we got here.
Tell you, or actually any person with common sense can tell you that your bone density is better when you're younger. But this seemed a little bit too performative. Now, I can tell you the part that he is telling the truth about is that Charlie's neck indeed did stop the bullet without question. Okay. And this is going to dispel a lot of theories that are out there. And I'm telling you this 100.
I mean, we had that information out there. Wasn't she on the side of there was a different shooter? It came from a different direction, or am I conflating her and some other people?
Perhaps. Although she goes on to use this information to, she's trying to say, and by the way, what's up, Steve Harloa, man? Good to see you. I've been missing your notifications. Please feel free to let me know via text in the future.
Let me know about the next Sunday show, Steve.
Yeah, that's I have not been getting notifications. I want to know where that is. What's up, YouTube? But she just goes on to say that it is a different caliber. She confirms that the medical examiner, who she dead names, and says we should all look into this woman. She was just assigned in Utah in 2024, and this is all suspicious because she says so. That it was just barely picked out, from behind, as was pretty much reported to us. But she used this to say that it was just a suppression of the actual caliber, that it was a smaller caliber, although she's not able to tell us what that is. She's just literally throwing it out there.
But regardless of how so you just gave us what we're going to watch. Am I guessing?
Essentially.
But it still lends to the idea that she was under the assumption that the bullet came from the right side or from behind, regardless if the rifle shot was muffled by a different rifle. Does seem like she's like, now we know 100%. And it's like, I thought we kind of knew that before, but I guess it wasn't widely reported on, or she didn't believe it until she got her people to verify it or something like that.
This added to, I think what she already wanted to say, but she is asking important questions. And yes, Surfer Boy 3000, welcome. I did watch the entire thing, and I took like stenographer style notes from beginning to end. He's saying, play the rest. She's being sarcastic.
That's how you got to take and do a good clip show like we used to do on the other few episodes we did of breaking down other people's videos. You learn from the best there. That's the best way to do it. Timestamps, baby.
Yeah, moving forward, that's what I'll be keeping my eye out for.
That's how you got to do it. Here we go.
Charlie Kirk was shot from the front, and the bullet did not exit, and at least a fragment of the bullet was recovered from his neck. And I'm going to tell you exactly where it was recovered from. I have fact-checked this information from multiple sources now. I've actually been sitting on this for a little bit over a week. Right around here. So think about almost in line with your shoulder blade right in the center. Now, why is that helpful? Because it gives us a bullet trajectory, okay? We went in here where you saw that, and it was stopped, and a fragment was pulled from, right, if you're just touching your spine in line with your shoulder blade.
Beneath the skin.
That leads us, obviously, to the...
Yeah, it means like right beneath the skin, but on the other side, like not on the front, but it went through, it just slowed down and it almost exited, but it didn't.
Yes, and she does go on to say that if it was a 30-06, it should have gone through 9 necks.
Yeah. Which I disagree with, because my cousin hunts with that, and he says 9 times out of 10 he's digging the bullet out of the animal he shoots. So next is a little different. I get it, but there are a tornado picks up a thing of eggs and sets it down gently, doesn't break an egg. Shit like that happens all the time. This could have been a crazy instance where like the bullet just didn't do what everyone thought it was going to do.
Yeah, that's not far fucking fetched to me. So. The onus would be on those with the claim, is what we like to say. And a quick reminder, I know, look, we don't have sponsors and we don't have ads turned on because our currency is the engagement. Feel free, if you're dropping by, just hit the subscribe button to keep the conversation alive. You can very much be a part of the show on panel via the phone. We appreciate you. Hit the like button and drop a comment in the chat. Appreciate y'all.
Let's keep going with a little more Candace. And then we'll get on to the next one.
Part that.
Sorry, Surfer, we can't
not
play
being
the
forthcoming
whole
about.
Thing.
He's like, can you guys just hit play and just like kind of kick back and relax and just let Candace do her thing?
That's Jesse on fire. Yeah. No, but he's being a good sport about it. He's like, keep the video rolling, boys.
Not recover a bullet from a 30-06. They didn't recover a bullet from a 30-06. Just didn't happen. Okay, if they had found a 30-06 bullet, Charlie's death certificate certainly would have reflected that. In suicide situations, as just one example, medical examiners, feel free to chime in. I've spoken to quite a few, but when the gun and the bullet are known, they are reflected onto the death certificate, okay? There is not one reflected onto Charlie Kirk's death certificate because they did not recover a bullet from a 30-06.
But how do we know? Is there evidence? Can we look up Charlie Kirk's death certificate?
No.
So how do we know she can see
another leak without citing a source here?
Or she's doing this thing where she's like, it's not on there, and the way she's coming to that conclusion is because she hasn't seen the death certificate. So she's like, it's not on there because I haven't seen it. So it must not be on there. Like what? I don't know what other vibe she could be, you know.
I think I'm not going to say it's a problem, but she clearly already reached a conclusion, and that's very challenging if you want to purport to be a reporter breaking new news each and every single time you go live. If you have your mind already made up, just fucking say it. Rip the Band-Aid off.
A little biased, maybe her. Maybe a little bit.
Perhaps.
Maybe a little bit.
Hunters and military men rejoice. It turns out that common sense still rules the roost, okay? You guys were right. You were absolutely right. And this is why I hate politics, because it requires us to submit to the idea that we were all somehow born yesterday. That it really can just, life really can just be a Marvel comic with people that are, I guess, a DC comic where there are men of steel that are able, because they're young, to stop 3,000 pounds of energy that is coming at them. That didn't happen. So where does that leave us, guys? Well, the part that is now extraordinarily suspicious is that Andrew is claiming that he had a conversation with the surgeon who offered up the idea that it really was just your modern Christian miracle, that Charlie was just young and his bones had a lot of density, which made him stronger somehow than a Cape buffalo.
Why is she incredulous now, but just moments ago she wasn't? And she's like, you're right. And now she's being, literally, you just said it was found, and now you're like, bullshit.
See, I see. It's not lost on me. People are perhaps upset, and I'm sorry if I'm phrasing that wrong, in the chat, or that really, really like Candace Owens, that we're, holding her to account by listening to her speak. But you got to be able to see the inconsistencies when she speaks. And that's at the very least, what I'd like to showcase here.
And doesn't that point out some of her bias going into this? How she kind of glosses over really quickly that the people who, like you were right, the bullet came from the front, blah, 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 like you were right. She doesn't really make, not to say she has to apologize whatsoever. I'm not, because like apologies never work out, but like concede that you were wrong somehow, but she kind of glosses over it and then like doubles down on like him saying, now how can we prove it was a real miracle though? It's like, we don't gotta debate that part, right? Like the whole idea, like you were wrong and like your bias didn't allow you to think something like that could happen. Not the miracle thing, but like that someone's bone, or like it has to go through and through whatever. Like you're like, nope, something's fishy about this, but then you just admitted that it wasn't. But now you're kind of saying, yep, it is.
See, I see that, but a huge majority of people just see it her way, and I don't know if they have some vested interest in not seeing it another way.
Nazi?
I didn't mean to say Nazi.
Jinx.
Had a lot of density, which made him stronger somehow than a Cape buffalo. Enough push-ups and asparagus, and you too can stop 3,000 pounds of energy coming at you. What are we to make of that? What are we to make of the fact that Charlie did not do that, actually? It means that he was shot with a completely different kind of gun.
God, she really wants to be right somehow. So she's just like, well, it still happened kind of like how I said, because there's no way it could have been this caliber bullet. Text coming on Thursday.
See, it's almost completely covered in, you know what, I'm gonna bite in, forget it, fuck it. But yeah, her concession is completely covered in her new or I don't know, her original conspiracy or theory. So the concession wasn't even really there. It's already swept.
It's not a real concession. Not to say that she has to, because she's being tactful. I get it. But it's like, can't you see how your bias led you wrong in the first place? And now you're like, but it wasn't a 30-06. Like, can we use some of that? Like what you just learned from your hindsight, can you apply that now to where you are? It's like, nope, this was a different caliber bullet. It's like, all right, history.
Okay, now prove it to us.
Or like, and you didn't learn anything from what just happened from when you.
He's about to go on vacation, so it's perfect to leave us to marinate on this.
Oh yeah, I'll be back next month. I accept thousands of super chats before I return.
Obviously, okay? The kind where this would make sense. that it didn't cut through him, the kind where it would make sense that outside of an artery effectively exploding from the front, there was, his neck didn't explode, which that particular weapon that they were trying to tell us Charlie was killed with would have gone through about 7 necks. Okay.
So says Candace Owens. So, I mean, that's her take on that. Do we feel like getting to her talking about Turning Point USA silencing that student witness or silencing student witnesses? Do we care about that?
I mean, all of that is to inevitably implicate, can you guess?
Israel?
Ding,
No
ding,
way.
ding.
The Jews.
You get to pass go with $200. I do see some of the she proved it, and so did many pro hunters and gun pros. And they're
Candace just sees like heavy Orthodox Jews with the big Jew hat and the curlies coming out like on the roof with snipers. We're going to get them. We're going to take a good shot. Oy vey.
Yeah, no. And originally they scrapped the plan, but they were gonna throw a really overcooked matzo ball.
But high-powered matzo ball.
Since I'm a part of the cabal, they had told me.
What kind of cabal? The matzah cabal.
No, there's no It's not even funny. You're talking about some sensitive information here, Josh, and I'm not appreciating it. Our FBI handlers are blowing up my 4 phones.
Matzah cabal soup.
That's my favorite.
I love it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Sorry, damn.
I
thought you're not Jewish. Jeez.
Very much appreciate everybody sharing all of their opinions and takes, but I don't think she proved a damn thing, and she just dead named the Utah medical examiner, and she's asking people to give her more tips and asking more ballistics people to give their theories. She hasn't decided upon anything. She decided who did it, but she's still working out the kinks to get there. In my opinion, I'm not claiming to be right.
Physically.
It takes a second for the pause to kick in.
Okay, yeah, this gets very interesting, and she really doesn't like this guy.
Let's go back.
And sure, it's strange. Everybody saw the viral clip of the guy going up to the kid who was talking about being a witness, getting silenced, and he was. And I'll give more context as to who that was, or maybe she will first. He's not Jewish.
I desperately need another Coke Zero. Do you want to rant for 30 seconds while I get a Coke Zero?
Go.
I'm not going to put the Candace video on. I'm just going to put you up there.
Mofo. It's my show now.
You up. Welcome to the Eli Hour.
This is the Progressive Patriot Hour. Listen, especially with any disagreements or clashes of our own respective conclusions, we always want to try to champion the art of discourse while it's ever so, being a lost art upon our species. And Charlie Kirk's end is really a testament to that. Once words end, where does that lead us? To just more and more bloodshed. I hope we can all kind of unify with that fear and hoping not to see more and more of it. But those of you that are so confident, so certain, please feel free to engage, and when the phone number's up, give us a call. And I guess I'll spoil a little bit of the clip that's to come, because I did watch the entire live stream, and I typed through the entire thing, beginning to end. So she gives the name of the guy. He is not even a TPUSA employee. He was a volunteer for the leadership program that was on the university and for the event. And he was also passing the mic around. So it was him that decided to silence the kid, one of the students and eyewitnesses. I'll say, sure, strange. Why would a volunteer have a vested interest in silencing that particular person? I'll propose that, but I'll also say, is it a wild speculation for someone else that saw the same thing that felt maybe it was just too soon? I know. He also decided to go on Fox News, and Candace said in this very episode, once you decide to go on to the public atmosphere to that degree, you're fair game. Now he's going to be looked into. I got his full name here, everybody's name that she has put into this mix. And yes, the questions need to be asked. She's got one of the most powerful platforms in existence, And I think the mainstream media, they're feeling it. They should fear her. And that's why I respect her, because she has put that necessary fear into an establishment that needs to know how unnecessary they are. All the mainstream outlets, we don't rely on them. We're trying to retake the voice in this country. So my respect forever for Candace, but I don't think she is the saint that many paint her out to be. We have tried to equally cover her history. She has once said that she's never benefited from racism in her life. Did you know she sued her high school with the NAACP? But she wouldn't tell you that. And what's another one? Oh, that Project Autopsy, where she was advocating to create a social network and program that would be able to say, that's hate speech, we're going to dox you. She wasn't always on the right side. So for anybody that continues to defend her because it's her that's saying it, I just want to propose these things to you, just as a matter of fact, for history and consistency.
I missed?
Okay, I stalled. Go on. If you can't respect knocking this thing out the park, okay. If you think she's knocking it out the park, I'm still waiting to see the ball go all the way over my head.
Should we put the phones back on?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Let's see. See if anybody's got the goods. Got the goods to call in and defend their girl Candace. So,
feel free, Kelsey, a little Southern patriot. We hope that you're not turned away by the invitation to discourse or hearing an opposing opinion, and that perhaps you'd hit the subscribe button just to continue to engage and call us out when we're pushing something you feel is a narrative, or if we're wrong. We don't always get it right.
Give us a call, 954-546-3455. That's 954-546-3455. Give your pals that stuck in the middle a good talking to. Back to Candace Owens, though this is her talking about TPUSA silencing student witnesses
that were awarded with mainstream media interviews. In fact, one guy, and this kind of went viral at the time, even got physically pushed, and was not given the ability to speak at all. They shut him up. It looked, if we were just examining the situation, it certainly looked like Turning Point employees or staff or students.
Yeah, I think I remember that video. It's like this one dude trying to give an interview, and TPUSA comes in and they just shut him up real quick. I was always interested.
It's not a TPUSA student that she's about to reveal. It's in fact somebody that volunteered for that very event.
Right. Yeah, they didn't work for Turning Point, but I feel like they shut him up because maybe it was like an NDA kind of thing. Like, yo, you can't speak on behalf of Turning Point. You don't work for us.
That's not my own personal takeaway. I am speculating that the man was perhaps emotional and was maybe thinking of preserving the investigation. But then I question myself because he goes on fucking Fox after he tells the kid to shut the fuck up.
But this guy was being interviewed as a Turning Point employee, like kind of being questioned as if, he was speaking for Turning Point. That's the vibe I always got, because I always thought he worked for Turning Point.
Dude in the red, the kid in the red shirt?
Not the kid who comes and clears the guy out.
Yeah,
from
the dude that pushes him.
I'm talking about the guy giving, like, the interviewer.
Oh, okay, the one interviewing?
No, god damn it! This is like who's on first, what's on second.
What the fuck?
Like the only guy in the frame at the beginning who's being interviewed. I thought that guy doesn't work for TPUSA. He works for the school to work events for them. The guy in the red shirt works for TPUSA. He's who poo-pooed the interview.
Okay. Do you know which clip we're talking about here? It's where the kid was being interviewed by a local news affiliate, and he was describing what he saw, and then some Joe Schmo Schmuck volunteer like pushed him away.
See,
and that
I get it in reverse. The kid speaking on behalf of TPUSA wasn't part of TPUSA.
No, nobody in there was.
The guys who broke it up were.
No.
Says who?
Candace? Even Candace and him on Fox News. He verifies that.
Which one? The pusher or the interviewer?
The pusher. The pusher. When you say the interviewer,
he verifies he himself, the guy being interviewed, the interviewee.
Yeah, I don't the one that was being interviewed, I don't believe he was a TPUSA anything. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was like a student of the university and was in the local chapter or something. But he wanted to say what he saw, and the guy wouldn't let him.
You know what? Let's find that fucking video and put it to rest real quick. How about that?
Shit.
How the fuck did we find this video? Kid
Hold on,
being
somebody's
interviewed.
We got some people trying to help us here. What's up, human? The kid that was speaking was turning point. Thank you.
Yes, that's what I said.
Vindication. Okay. Turning point. The person that stopped him was a
Wasn't.
volunteer from another organization. Yes, correct. That worked with.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. They were a volunteer organization. I don't know, for the university or for Turning Point. That one I'm unsure of. But they were not affiliated, or they're not legit Turning Point USA.
Yeah, this right here.
I saw him. I heard the.
Let's see. I think I got
So yeah, the fucking kid. All right, he is.
I mean, but he does have a 47 hat on, like he's just like a fan. Let's see though.
So perhaps that's where I got it all twisted up. See, I can say I'm sorry, I got it wrong. I can do that, and I won't sweep it either. Matter of fact, clip it up and play it infinitely.
Damn. I'm gonna just get that drop and just play it. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
Yeah, don't jerk the gherkin too hard, mofo. What's up, bass girl? Good to see you. Good to see you, sweetie.
I saw him. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off. Get off me! Get off me!
Wasn't this
See, like,
volunteer's place to do that shit?
They both have like Turning Point USA shirts on. And maybe they're not allowed to give maybe this is on campus and they're not supposed to be talking to news people. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for me to assume why this interview was cut short like the way it was. I assume, I guess, good things, meaning like these guys were just following, like, hey, you can't do this interview here, you can't be talking, you can't be speaking. As I really don't know. I really don't know.
I am not a fan. I mean,
because it doesn't make sense for someone who's not Turning Point USA to cut the interview short. So it seems like something to do with the school. And like, yo, you can't.
Well, I think we are, feeding into. It's fishy. It's fucking weird. I don't know why this guy and his homeboy felt the need to push this fucking kid who is official TPUSA, and these are just fucking volunteers. Not to diminish volunteers, but why did they feel that they had to police anybody who was speaking on it?
See, I think all these guys.
Maybe there's a sense of the sanctity of an investigation pending, or the emotions of the day. Who the fuck knows?
Let me see. What shirt does he have on? What shirt does this guy have on? Like, they all have on the American Comeback. Like, they all have on it which was the name of this tour he was starting, Charlie Kirk, the American Comeback tour.
Right, correct.
So they all have that shirt on. So how do we really know? So does Candace tell us? Like, do we figure out? Does she kind of allude to who's who here, as far as what she thinks? Not saying it's the truth.
No. The dude that's doing the shoving, he goes on Fox News the very next day, and
this guy right here.
Yes, that fucking asshole.
Why do you hate him?
I think he was an asshole, but I don't hate him.
Let's see.
To him so that he wouldn't say what he thought happened. Let's take a listen to that clip that has gone viral.
I didn't know she was going to play it, but at least we broke it down before.
From probably the third row in the bottom. I saw him. I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off. Get off me! Get off me!
Emotions are running high right now.
Certainly emotions were running high. He was just trying to speak and to say what he saw. And interestingly, though, if you think through what he said there, he said, I was in the third row, right? And a shot rang out, and I looked to my left and I looked to my right. Now, we're not specific on where exactly he was standing, but if a high-powered rifle came from 250 yards behind you, you'd probably look back first, right? Like, common sense. If you heard the sound, coming from behind you, you would look back probably.
Just because he didn't say, if I look to my right, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't do this. I didn't look to my right. He said, I look to my right, which is your full 180, and I look to my left, your full 180. Just because he didn't specify, I didn't look back. Like, I don't like the whole semantics part of her argument at this point, at least on this one.
After phrasing it like that, it is a reach. But, I do want to establish what I hope is the obvious. It may seem like I'm personally shilling for the official report. Fuck no. I do not trust our government. I don't think any of us do, and we're united in that. I do require, and yes, the feds fucked up the investigation, all the leaks, and Steven Crowder's leak with the ATF, everything. I don't trust a damn thing, but if I'm going to believe any which way in terms of any conspiracy, I just need to get as much evidence and information as possible. It has not been enough time or information yet. So I'm following. That's why I'm still watching Candace, even though it may seem I'm not agreeing. I just need something concrete. So fault me for that all you'd like. I don't believe the feds.
Let's keep it going.
Well, even before your brain came online, your instinct would be to duck and to make sure that you're not going to get hit by something that's coming from behind you. Now, to clarify immediately here and to again debunk some other internet conspiracy theories, that is not Andrew Colvett in that video. A lot of people were like, is this Andrew Colvett from Turning Point USA hiding under a hat? It is not true. I spoke to Andrew on this actual day. He definitively flew in to Utah after the shooting took place. He was not therefore on the ground. But the person that is in that video, as soon as I just put up a picture and I said, I'd like to identify this person, his friend first left a nasty comment, like, why are you trying to look out for this guy? He did the right thing. How dare we ask questions? Like, how dare we try to get testimony from anybody else that day? Kind of then messages me privately because I reached out and I'm like, I'm just trying to confirm the story. And I reached out and he says to me, well, and I'm paraphrasing here, he doesn't want to speak to you. He doesn't want to speak to media because he's been instructed not to speak to media because he's gotten the Turning Point chapter into trouble before for speaking out in the media, and he just doesn't want to do that. And I said, that seems very strange to me. What are you saying to me? You have a TPUSA person who can't speak out about things. There were tons of people that were talking about their testimonies. It's very odd. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, you're telling me that Turning Point USA, sent around a text and said, nobody speak to the media? That was his excuse, by the way, for why he shut that guy up. People were saying, they're not allowed to speak to the media. So they were just doing what they were told.
Why is that weird, though? Like, random employees can't speak for the company. That's what they're trying to prevent.
Especially if was it the specific guy here that did the shove? Was he the one that had gotten in trouble? Or
I thought they were talking about the guy talking.
Okay. So
it's so
I don't know.
Woof.
I know. I don't find it that as strange as she's selling it, even though there are people respectfully in the chat that wholeheartedly believe it. This is entirely, absolutely 100% suspicious and everything Candace is saying is gospel.
Right
We're
on
the wrong side of this argument. That was literally one of the comments.
Right on. We very well could be. That's the joy of having an opinion.
We'll keep the option open, of course. Yeah. She's not convincing me here. She's pointing out things that are important, but this is not one of them to me.
Yeah.
Well, then it's kind of interesting. You should know that I then determined that the person doing the shoving is first and foremost not a Turning Point USA employee. He is beyond that not a student at UVU. He is not a Turning Point USA student, therefore, either. He was actually brought in as a volunteer, which I found to be quite strange. Like, look, I've done a lot of campus stops, and typically it's the chapter of that school that does everything. It's the chapter that handles everything. Now, bigger events, they certainly work with other organizations, and it's possible, I guess, it registered to me as odd that a volunteer would have the courage to shut down a kid that's speaking in that way, in that aggressive manner. I would imagine Turning Point would tell their volunteers not to get physical with students on campus. But what do I know? I just have common sense.
Maybe they knew each other. I don't know.
Maybe things changed when you were gone, Candace. You know, the way it was being handled, volunteers doing this, that, or the other. Maybe there was an emphasis on TPUSA doing something else entirely. Who the fuck knows? We can only preach the gospel of I am not certain. I will not sell absolutes, though. And we got no revenue to support us to do so, which is why when she makes as much money as she does, that I start to question the certainty in what she delivers. But I'll accept the possibility, of course. We can all be fucking wrong. We're not trying to run for anything to be right. We just have our opinions, and they are only that. I hope that is not enough for you to hate my guts.
Oh, it's enough for me to hate your guts, bro.
Yeah, I know it's mutual.
Yeah, it's too
Been
far
hating you
gone
for
for
years
that.
already. Jesus H.
So we got rifle to use suppress real gun. This is her next claim here.
The sound of a smaller gun, which maybe actually kind of had to, if we're considering the trajectory that I'm telling you, here to here, kind of had to come from the front of Charlie. And I will say that that is now my well-informed opinion that we are looking for a person that was a lot closer to Charlie and likely in the audience. And that
Super
goes a
brief
long
pause.
way, by the way.
All right, Donna, thank you, by the way, for coming in and offering like more research to do. I just want to let you know we have been Project Autopsy from 2018. Her connection to the Tate brothers, her suing her high school with the NAACP, even though she said she never benefited from racism. So that being said, I want to just say that name, Google Candace name and Robert Mercer's name. I can promise you I will. And if you're here for the next one, you'll see me talking about it. So thank you. All right. You can play the clip.
In terms of trying to explain why they're maybe hiding the footage from behind Charlie's head. Maybe that is the reason that that footage was so crucial first and foremost. Now, there are tons of other cameras. That one gets grabbed first. It seems to me that there's a lot of hiding and there's definitively a lot of lying that's going on. I told you, Tyler Boyer lied. He just lied. The person who took the cameras down was absolutely not instructed to do so by law enforcement. He just wasn't. Okay? So why say that?
I don't think that was ever. Remember, he said he took it down first because people are evil.
Yes, and then provided it to law enforcement.
Yeah, but she's claiming that law enforcement told him to take it down, or that was the claim, and he took it upon himself to do that because he said people were evil, or at least that's what Megyn Kelly said. I believe that was Megyn Kelly who reported on that. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's Megyn Kelly.
I hope people see that as like, a bit of an inconsistency there. Maybe they won't. Who the fuck knows?
Let's keep going a little bit. And I want to get to one of my favorite ones is the Fed implanting memories in our heads.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Also, why grab the one behind his head first? Of all the cameras, why that one first and foremost? And when I actually think about the clip that I was shown, it was more to the right. I actually feel that there is this remarkable blind spot on the left of Charlie, which is why I was asking if anybody had footage, not footage if you're sitting there and taking footage this way, but if you are Charlie, I want to see what he would have seen looking slightly to his left.
Candace is on it. Give her that footage, dang it. Give her that footage.
I'll, some respect for her, opening the lines of communication and saying, here's the tip line,
and they were trying to.
But yeah, what she's about to say regarding the FBI, it's not a crazy thing to suggest.
MK Ultra?
To implant
not even that far of a stretch, but with given that history,
memories into our heads. So he was like, I felt like there were these people walking around that we didn't recognize, and they were like, you heard one shot, we heard one shot, we heard one shot. And he's like, I know that sounds weird and conspiratorial, but it seems like they were trying to make us believe that this is what we heard. And it's interesting.
Definitely wasn't people just saying out loud in a state of panic, we heard one shot. Not at all. Like everything always starts off nefarious, and it's just like, damn, is everything with you like a nail? Like you're this hammer, You're trying to bang everything.
Yeah, that's my only gripe is that she talks like such a confident absolutionist, man. Like leaving no room that she even has a doubt of anything. I always trust somebody that's overconfident.
Yeah,
absolute.
Interesting also because remember when Phil Lyman gave us his footage and he walks outside of that building, the two now infamous goth girls who are not goth at all and they're just wearing black, they say that they heard 2 shots. They never made it to Fox News. They never made it to the mainstream media, but they too also said that they heard 2 shots. Take a listen.
You see where that came from? It was right here, wasn't it?
It was like over here.
Yeah.
Like 2 shots. Definitely not an echo, like,
Right. I
nothing
was
like
just
that.
thinking of my time in the range and the echo. Yeah. And the first time I was firing, imagine all these people that never heard a gun go off before,
And weren't expecting it to go off, caught by surprise. Like, they don't know really, how to locate it, where it came from. It was just so, like, in the moment. But, everyone definitely knew.
Oh, 100%. That's how it works.
Yep.
What can I say, guys? I think it's pretty obvious that our instincts about this have been correct from the very beginning.
No, they weren't. Remember, you issued the apology that the bullet didn't go from the back. It was from the front. So your instincts were already wrong from the beginning. You're giving yourself too much credit here. You just apologized and said you got it wrong.
Bro, she's spitting mad game. She's got all that cheddar.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're sponsored by...
Oh, yeah. 8 sponsor reads, 1 as long as 10 to 15 minutes with ads running throughout the entire live stream.
Damn, 10 to 15-minute ad.
Yep. 4 different sponsors. One was beef, some form of beef jerky, beef sticks, and people are throwing $200 donations like they're just going out of style.
Oh, boy.
We probably need to be now looking for a shooter that was in the audience and
wait,
Jewish.
All right, hold the phone.
Meow.
Hey, you're God bless you because you're welcome in this chat. But I want to say with my whole heart, fuck you, you evil little scumbag. You saying Candace deserves it in the eye and Erica Kirk next, you are the exact example of vile humanity that makes me ashamed to even acknowledge that I have oxygen in my lungs. While you have some kind of place here because we're not going to silence you, just know that I think you're a piece of shit, not even worthy of being scraped off of somebody's fucking boot. What are you, Antifa? What's your fucking deal?
What happened?
You want to call?
What did I miss?
You. Somebody's going in there saying, get fucking Candace Owens and get Erica Kirk next. Go fuck yourself, you lack of human filth.
That's a little all over the place, don't you think? Like, you hate them both? Who gets to stick around?
We may have one of those tolerant lefties in here, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone. Let's keep going a little bit. Maybe or maybe not. I don't know.
To the left, I've seen you guys. I saw some guy on Alex Jones that created, he created a whole web and explained and did this all on a computer of where the trajectory would have to go. We need you again, ballistic YouTubers, gun people, gun enthusiasts, military men, the people that they're discounting and saying you have no right to get clicks. No, please get clicks. Explain to us what it is that you know in this decentralized intelligent agency, given the information that I am telling you, okay?
She's starting a little something. See that? See, we're a thing. Like it almost sounds like she's like, we're the decentralized intelligence agency. We're the DCIA.
Bro, she is truly, and I'm stealing some comments from the lovely chat. Thank you, by the way, Surfboard. I think it's some of yours. She is merely a chef amongst a staff of cooks, and she is doing the cooking, sir.
Let her cook. Let her cook. The suspicious planes connection.
Oh my God, yeah, there's 2 planes that, okay. More conspiracy. This is where I just want to nail down, like, there's so many more things that you're adding to the mix. What the, can you be concise about a singular? I appreciate that she's pointing all these things out at the same note. So, man, I am so fucking conflicted. I used to really admire her for her accomplishments. I used to have my beef with her too when I was a liberal schmuck.
Kosher, though, right?
I hope she's doing everything for the right reasons. But yeah, this is interesting.
Of conversation that I haven't said much about, but I want you to know we are still working on it, are the 2 planes that day, right? One of them being the plane that people have recognized is military. That's tail number N1098L. So this plane left from Texas, went over to Utah right about the time that Charlie got assassinated. It dipped real low. It seemed like who knows what this plane was being sent there for, but the fact that this plane had been.
You know what it was, dude? It was a Jewish plane, and it had rabbis. They were hanging by their feet like monkeys do. Like they were hanging off the wings upside down. Their hats, they had this little thing on so the hat wouldn't fall off. Okay? So the hats were on, easily identified as Jewish because you know they're not taking the hat off. And the little, no, I'm talking about the Orthodox Jews.
Oh, yeah, I don't know shit about that.
Yeah,
okay.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the
I
ones
know
where you're
what you're
like,
talking
yeah, it almost looks like an Amish person kind of, but it's like Jewish. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And got little curls down here, and the curls are just going crazy because they're on a plane, right? But they're
Curls on a plane?
Curls on a plane. You know, so but they're upside down Jewish sniper rifles, right? And they're just so the plane dips low, gets a clear shot of Kirk, boom, gets him, bam, and then it rights itself, and they're fucking out of there. You know, they're fucking out of there.
When you connect that with the secondary shooter that's been allegedly placed on the grounds in the front of the audience with the secondary shooter that only shot so it would echo and muffle the other shot, and when you connect it with also the debunked shooter at the top or the Bush shooter, and then the other plane that she goes on to talk about, it all makes sense somehow.
Yeah, dude. You have the RIA and the JBI on this case. You have the Jewish Bureau of Investigations and the Rabbi Intelligence Agency working together on this one. Really got a number on old Mr. CK. Man.
Air Israel for you.
Fuck.
Thank you, TZ Burton.
Jeez.
Used in the military rightfully alerted people to the fact that they may have had some knowledge. This plane may have had some knowledge of what was going to occur. But one thing I want to clarify for you is that plane was being contracted. You guys noticed that it was owned by LaSalle Aviation LLC. We are awaiting more information, but I just wanted to let you know that if you recognize that, it is strange. It did happen. There's no question. I've been saying from the beginning, this was a
If you guys knew this or not, planes, dude, a plane took off after Charlie Kirk. Dude, everywhere. They all took off. And they got these things, right? Where planes, they almost like stockpile them there. And a bunch will take off like almost like in a line with people on them, right? And these people, they got stuff. Oh, they got stuff. But these people, their stuff gets put under the plane, right? And it flies. Yes, I swear. And it flies from one of these big concrete things, like half across the country to another big concrete thing and unloads the people and the people's stuff. No
this
shit.
Is too far-fetched. Dude, are you breaking this now for the first time live?
I've been waiting to say this for years, dude. Years. I know.
I can't contain. I mean,
this is heavy.
We didn't go to the moon. The Earth is flat, and planes fucking fly and land.
Get
the fuck out of here. And they can be contracted by anybody, and it's strange because it's on this particular day. No.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. You know, I'm losing the fucking plot here.
military operation. It's very obvious. The more you peel back the onion, it is very obvious that this was a military operation. So it's fitting that.
Here's the problem: when you peel back onions, your eyes start to water a little bit. So how do you know what you're looking at is legit? Because you got to have some type of like, I don't know, onion-proof lenses on, because like you're crying, there's water in your eyes. What do you know? You can't really get a good look at what you're looking at because you're crying.
Now you have just illustrated, and thank you, Josh. You have just solved my entire issue with Candace Owens reporting. Little does she know, this entire time she should not be cutting onions before looking at evidence.
No, you never peel back an onion.
Right.
I don't know. I don't got a word for it. It's very unbecoming of one to peel back an onion.
Yeah, like keep that shit for the kitchen, lady.
Yeah, yo.
Oh shit, I'm getting canceled for that.
Oh, that was misogynistic.
She's a strong, happily married woman, and the husband is the one with the weird connection to the Tate brothers. Just saying.
You would have a plane that the military certainly uses. Who would contract that sort of plane? Now, this would be a very
The military. The military would the ones be contracting that plane. She just said it was a military plane. She's like, now who would be the ones contracting that plane? Ooh, I got it. Me. The military.
See, so I know now I'm not alone when I watch her.
You're never
and I
alone,
can't help
buddy.
but laugh at some of this shit, okay? I appreciate everything that's new, but I also can't help but have a little chuckle here and there.
You gotta have
and
some
chop onions while I watch.
Yeah, peel back the layers, sir.
easy question for Kash Patel to answer. Hey, Kash Patel, most transparent ever, except when it comes to Epstein. What's up with this plane? Certainly, you have knowledge of who contracted this plane. The answer, if you're being transparent, is going to be like, oh, just a coincidence. You know, just a coincidence. Somebody decided to take a vacation flight from Texas over Utah to do a little circle and return back home. It happens all the time. You know, when you're bored and you just have an unbelievable amount of money, that's what you do. We're not going to get those answers from Kash Patel about that plane. We're not even getting straight answers about the other plane. That's the plane where Derek Maxfield, his wife Shalane Maxfield, they sold some beauty company for billions, I believe, and they now just run a human sex trafficking organization. She
says that so nonchalantly.
Yep, this is where I'm very confused. So, clarify, you're hearing the same thing. She says the second plane that's in the area, suspiciously, mysteriously, is owned by sex trafficking millionaires.
Well, you have to understand, he was very outspoken against sex traffickers. So, and that's a big American business, sex trafficking. You know,
apparently
Epstein.
yeah.
You know, so this is why they're not going to let whoa, buddy, don't you get in the way of us sex trafficking now.
But she is saying this second plane is owned by sex trafficking millionaires, right?
You know what? Let's rewind the tape. Let's just double check. You know, let's go back in time about like 3 seconds. We'll go back in time about 3 seconds, and we'll see what she actually said here. Because we don't want to misquote her, right?
No, we would never. Sincerely, never.
For billions, I believe. And
okay, I want to hear their names because it almost sounds like Ghislaine.
That's what I fucking heard, man. I'm confused. Thank you, everybody. Chat, please engage. I am very confused at this claim here.
That plane, we're not even getting straight answers about the other plane. That's the plane where Derek Maxfield, his wife Shalane Maxfield, they sold some.
Ghislaine Maxfield.
Ghislaine.
It's like it's right there, isn't it? It's like Ghislaine Maxwell. The Maxwells and the Maxfields.
It's like the Bernstein Bears right now.
Berenstein Bears.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Don't you correct me.
Mandela died in jail.
Beauty company for billions, I believe, and they now just run a human sex trafficking organization in Utah. That was that plane. I can't remember. 888 is what I actually remember.
It's funny you don't remember that, but by God, they are sex traffickers. They're billionaires. You know, they sold their business. They're out of that. Now they're just your ordinary sex traffickers. I'm sorry.
She said it like she was offering chewing gum to somebody. Like, hey, you want some spearmint and a side of the human sex trafficking? You know, like what?
She passed it off with such common knowledge. Like it makes me like, do I not know that they're sex traffickers? I feel out of the loop on this one.
Google the names, okay, and tell us what you see. Okay, all right, and we got challenged to do it live, fellas. Bet.
All right, let's see.
You know what? Here,
Let's see.
you can keep on with the keeping on, and I'll Google it.
We got Ghislaine Maxfield, right?
Was it Maxfield, Mainsfield,
I think
Ghislaine?
it's Maxfield, or Maxfeld. No, that's Ghislaine Maxwell.
Is it Ghislaine Maxwell? Is that what it is?
Maybe it may not be Ghislaine. How about Maxfeld? Maxfeld,
okay.
billionaire. This is riveting stuff. I said Maxfeld, billionaire. The Maxfield brother.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Who the? Riveting footage. I know. Okay, is this this is a different? Okay.
Gabe Maxfield. Let's try that. I mean, why can't can the chat tell us how to spell the fucking name? Jesus shit. Max Field.
What's up, Finger Finds? Oh, meow meow. To my knowledge, you're not timed out, but fuck you, I could care less what your gripes are. Enjoy.
I can't find what the fuck it is.
Donna,
Let's just keep moving.
It's Surfer Boy, who's been very active. Thank you. Feel free, since you want us to do this live, provide the spelling.
Yeah.
Because by God, we're
nothing's coming
here.
up. And they just, did you mean Ghislaine Maxwell? Like, no.
And it seemed as though that plane left.
Let me see what you said
went
one more
to
time.
That plane, we're not even getting straight answers about the other plane. That's the plane where Derek Maxfield, his wife Shalane
Derek Maxfield. I'm going to look. Derek Maxfield.
All right, while you do that, Meow Meow says they were only being edgy. Well, at this time, we're all for a good edge, but you were literally inciting for the end of two people's lives that, regardless of agreeing or not, we don't want harmed. So you're going to have very little quarter with me, and I'm going to stick to my, hey, fuck you and fuck off sentimentality. Win me over.
So it says marketing CEO debunks Charlie Kirk shooting conspiracy theory about Tyler Robinson. It says the CEO of a company at the center of a conspiracy theory regarding Charlie blah blah blah. Derek Maxfield, CEO of a marketing company, Cormigo. I don't know if that's an M or an N and an R. Denied that a plane that his company owns was used to help the suspect escape. Doesn't say anything.
Bro, I'm lost in the sauce, man. Fuck it. This is a topic for another show at this point.
Hang on, I just want to go. It says theory emerges.
Who is Derek Maxfield, Comigo CEO, whose private plane was linked to Charlie Kirk's shooting in Utah? Thank you, Red Pill Quest for Truth.
It doesn't tell us anything about sex trafficking. There we go. This is Desert News. Nonprofit highlights need to stop child sex trafficking in Utah. It's founded in they founded in 2014 by Derek and Shalane Maxfield. Saprea was started to help provide hope and healing for survivors of childhood sexual abuse.
All right. So is the proposal here? This is a hiding in plain sight thing.
I guess.
They're advocates,
So they're literally, hiding in plain sight because it says Sapria's leaders. It says nothing about them being in trouble. But yeah, they. All
right.
Yeah.
I'll just make a personal promise to the audience for the next show. I will do a deep dive using every browser available, talk to all of the sources that we have, and find out as much as we can, especially when it comes to any claims of a connection with Charlie Kirk. So I have a question to Red Pill, who I think you're insinuating there is a connection with this plane and Charlie Kirk's shooting. What about the contracted military plane that's also apparently connected to this? How many things are connected? At this point, I need a whole segment of people saying what's not connected.
Yeah, like you're actually in the minority if you're not connected to the Charlie Kirk shooting somehow.
It's like no, I don't want to fucking joke. It's like you weren't a part of that shit. No.
Oh, well, you're not cool. You didn't help kill Charlie Kirk. What? I want to be in it. Shucks, I wanted to help kill Charlie Kirk.
I know. Look, fucking edgy, distasteful, but that's how it seems from our perspective with the amount of connections we're being told to look at suspiciously. By God. So a little fucking at least empathy for someone who's trying their best.
Here's Candace going on. Let's see if she has anything else to say on here. And then we got finally her final one, because we actually did Your Children Will Be Cursed. Trump wants a peace prize. We did all that to get into this way. She's going to say why it was a public execution. Let's just see if she has anything to wrap up this accusation.
Maxfield, they sold some beauty company for billions, I believe, and they now just run a human sex trafficking organization in Utah. That was that plane. I can't remember. 888 is what I actually.
Maybe she just misspoke. Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Like, and they just, because she says it so like nonchalantly, like they just run a human sex trafficking organization. Wow, that's a mouthful. But they do kind of run that, but helping human sex trafficking victims.
Well, at least I can confirm from comments, or at least a couple of comments in the chat, that there is belief that this is also a thing. I just
it seems a little underground, but whatever. Yeah.
What was it?
It seems
underground?
it seems a little like some of the things that report it, which doesn't necessarily make it wrong, but it does seem a little underground with whatever that means. Take it for what it's worth. That's not a dig at it.
I'll do my due diligence for the sequel. I promise.
And it seemed as though that plane left. It went to Page, Arizona, and it appeared that the ADS-B transponder turned off. Now, what Kash Patel told us is different from what Derek Maxfield told us. Derek Maxfield on Instagram clarified that the Air Traffic Control Center was in agreement with them that they could stop transponding. Kash Patel says that plane never stopped transponding. So I don't know what the truth is, and I'm not even pretending that we're ever going to get the truth. What I can tell you is that the investigation that we have been privately conducting has led to more questions than answers. Obviously, multiple pilots, people that work at these airports, people who are invested in the story have reached out, and I'm grateful for that. Multiple people have confirmed that this plane was a little bit weird that day. It was supposed to land in Page, Arizona, in Millionaire FBO. Last second, it made a change. Just so you guys know, an FBO is just a private.
All right. Do we really got to?
She gets inside baseball at this point.
We got it. There's a plane, and it seems sketchy.
Yes. And that's the consensus right there.
Let's because we don't want to sit here and just watch her show. That's up to you. You can find this video and kind of watch the video. So we're just trying to move it along a little bit. We're not trying to skip over anything on purpose. Just trying to keep the show going just a little bit. Here's the last one. Why was it a public execution? She's going to tell us why.
We actually had that conversation with Aiden, so.
Yeah, I still want to hear her side of it.
Okay, by all means.
Yeah, still want to hear her side of it. Nice little bow on everything. From her mouth herself.
To have us watch that live around the world, you traumatized all of us, and not in the way that you meant to. You meant to traumatize us, and maybe then make us fearful and scared. And yeah, that happened. Then you made us really angry that corruption is allowed to be like this, just so blatant and so in our face, looking at us as if we're nothing. And what are you going to do about it? That's the attitude. What are you going to do about it? You wanted to traumatize us and then to, on a dime, flip and look us in the face and go, how dare you ask questions? People are grieving. Yeah, we're grieving because you assassinated Charlie Kirk.
Who's you? So this is where I start to lose the plot here. So was it Israel or was it our own government? So if it was Israel, then they did this here and it was public, but from a different country, but then also military planes and our own government. And oh man, give me something to follow a little bit.
I think her wishes is that you'll come to the conclusion that there was some effort together by Mossad and our intelligence agencies to make sure Kirk was silenced. I think there's a fair proposal being, legit. A fair comment proposal here is like, hey, is it possible or is this, no, fuck it. It was a comment, I might read it out of context. Maybe Candace is also, compromised and is spreading all this fucking confusion.
Yeah.
If we're gonna play everything's a fucking conspiracy, then it has to apply to everybody.
It does, 100%. So is she handing out misinformation? Because it does, with all the stuff going out there, it does kind of help the defense people for Tyler Robinson. With all these other possibilities out there, it's giving him more of a chance to be like, well, maybe it wasn't my client. See all the other things that could be out here? Like, it's really helping the defense. It's kind of hurting the prosecution's case, unless they obviously have things that we're not privy to yet, which it is, a case that's
highly plausible.
Yeah, like, it's not an open investigation. The investigation's closed, but it is like an open case. It is being, I don't know what that word is. What is that? It's a hearing. It's open court case still. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, no. When it comes to the word we're looking for, not certain, but it's not concluded. When it is concluded in the eyes of the media, it's not over.
Not conclusive
in the eyes of our, social discourse. It will continue, and we'll have demands. We have to see where it goes.
Yeah, it ain't there conclusive. I mean, we're definitely gonna have some some videos for Saturday. We have the story about the waitress. We're not going to spoil it, so we can talk on that on Saturday. It's not like a big political thing, but it's something to kind of fun to toss around back and forth. So we got that, right? We do have the idea, our responsibility talk. Little prelude to that, little hint to that. We have the controversial Halloween display going viral. And we still got to talk about this idea of an episode called Race Bait. We got to figure that out.
Yeah, it's going to be an uncomfortable one, but I'm here for it.
And then some videos saying this lady has a panic attack because of Trump. The school board meeting goes off the rails. Myron Gaines gets confronted by a real leftist. This one guy tries to stop another guy from recording. He proceeds to learn some things. And then Collargate. We didn't get to Collargate today, but I guess we can save that also for Saturday. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just reveal only this much. Hey, guess what? Shocking news. Hassan Piker is a fucking asshole, and he should be deplatformed.
But it's a whole big thing. And, like, I feel like, maybe we can play that one video. Maybe we don't got to make it a thing. We just play the video and we just go over it real quick. I don't mind doing that. I got 5 minutes to kill. Like, you cool with that?
Yeah, 5 minutes. Let's do it.
It's, usually we try to play a video at the end, not so serious, a little palate cleanser. So don't get too worked up over this, but it does kind of suck ass. But you tell us what you see here, all right?
Very well. Oh, yeah, this, So this has been breaking. It's called Collargate, and I hope, out of all the nails to be the thing that closes his fucking not literal coffin, God, there's so many reasons he should be behind bars, but all right.
So check this out. Like, someone was saying his dog always hangs out behind him. Is that true? I don't watch a lot of his shit. His dog's always there. I have no idea. Someone, people on the internet say, like, his dog's always behind him. Like, so this is how he gets his dog to sit there the whole stream. I have no idea. I don't watch his shit.
I watch a lot of clip channels and snark channels about this fucker. I haven't seen the dog there a lot, but when it is in the fucking corner, yeah.
All right. Well, so let's play this. You all out there be the judge, hanging out with us.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yep.
It's clear you hit something. She's just trying to get off whatever fucking stupid pedestal you got her on. Like, what else would you lean forward for with your left hand, and simultaneously the dog also yelps?
Oh, but just stop.
Hang on a second.
You could even tell by the body language of the dog that she was even, like, nervous to move. Like, she wanted to get
she was
out.
nervous to step off the fucking thing.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America.
It's funny. He has the same as he has the same. That's exactly how Chank sounds when he goes okay. Like he has that like almost starts with an N. Okay.
A rotten apple doesn't fall far from a fucking
listen.
dead
I like
tree.
Chank, so
I know.
I like Chank.
Of America's much more consequential violence, okay? It's the same reason as to why America. Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dude, the dog jumps. He's a lion sack of shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yes,
what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
It's funny how it doesn't happen again only when his hand went up and now his hand's down by his lap or so appears.
And right, you could even it seemed like he was moving even closer to the camera so it would have less of a sight of what the fuck he's doing. And it's clear that
he was reaching for it.
Shit. Say again?
Or he was reaching for it.
Yeah, man. I'm convinced of that. And just a quick shout out. I think this is to an old friend, Carrie. It's great to hear from you, sweetie. I'm glad you're watching. All right. So, yes.
How do people feel in the chat?
Let me reopen the fucking thing.
They might be behind a little bit.
No, that's all right. Only nice, but also subscribers, only political podcast.
Yeah, they're behind a little bit. That's all right. I think we've solved Collargate, though. Ready? Did he do it? Yes.
Spam ones in the chat if you think this motherfucker did that shit. Oh, what? Surfer Boy, just for context, because Hassan Piker, I truly believe, and I think we should have a consensus on this, he has been advocating for violence from the left for a very long time. He has literally given platform to Houthi pirates and shown his support for them. He is the extreme version of the left that spews all the hateful rhetoric and the incitements for violence, and he still has a platform by liberal ass Twitch. So if you're wondering why this is being showcased here, it's because, well, I have a personal fucking beef with this little bastard.
Yeah, and there was a clip last week we played of, or 2 weeks ago, saying like "run red with capitalist blood" or something like that over landlords. This guy's been on a roll recently.
He told everybody to just go, kill your landlords because capitalism.
Great. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, buddy, I think we done did the thing. I think we did it.
We appreciate whether, people didn't adore every topic we picked. One guy was like, bro, we don't care about your surf on Hassan. We love it. Bring the energy every time. The phone
don't care about your what?
You want to get our crush on Hassan? Yeah. Just please keep on engaging. Our only currency is engagement. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hype us up, join us in the comments, call the show, or hop up on panel. Stuck in the Middle is literally an outlet that's meant for you, the people. We are just blessed to have those of you with us here.
What is the hype thing?
I don't know. It helps push your video in the algorithm.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe you can give us some hype, everybody out there and Stuck in the Middle land. We appreciate you, as Eli said. Thank you so much for hanging out. A like goes a long way. A sub goes even further. But at the very least, it warms the cockles of our heart that you're here, regardless if you like or sub to us, although we would prefer that. But yes, what matters is you being here, you hanging out with us, enjoying the show, getting your opinion out there, and just maybe having a laugh, right? Just a little laugh.
At the very least, we could hope that we all find a moment of levity in times of darkness.
With that said, I do believe we'll be having a Saturday show. We got some, hopefully there'll be a few things we can add to that, but stick with us, hang out with us Saturday. Because we aren't on a schedule, so to speak, the best way to know when we go live is, guess what? Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Then you know Stuck is live. So thank you so much, all you fine people out there.
And D-Sue, please unsubscribe. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, D-Sue. Appreciate you.
Peace
all right.
out, all.
This one's the D-Sue. Later, D-Sue.
Peace out, D-Sue forever.